So well, I'm live. We are live, boys. We are live.
And I'm cooking with gas.
Lovely stuff.
You know, that's bad for you, cooking with gas.
It's old fashioned. It works.
Does.
Yeah, exactly.
I sell
All
gas
right,
cookers.
Welcome anyway. Welcome. This is what, episode 3 now, if I remember right.
That is correct. Episode 3.
Aye.
Episode 3 of the ScotsRant podcast. I'm the host, Gizzy the Gremlin, with my co-host.
Reece 1.
And we have a guest here with us today.
I am Liquid Hotshot, as you might know me.
And as usual with this podcast, you may have to have an alcoholic beverage, but I am on medication this week, so I can't drink the Joyce.
And I'm not a fan of drinking, so
I've got Pepsi Max because I feel like shit, so
Go ahead, we'll fight.
fight for the sponsorship.
Frozen.
I know. Oh man, which one will take us? That reminds me of the
Classic, man, classic.
I know. That reminds me of the argument. Not the argument, but try to get saying there was a clip of me doing for Red Bull or Monster in one of my streams, and it was just me. Just I don't care. Someday sponsor me. I just want energy drinks for free. Oh man.
I've got an HP energy drink sitting here anyway, some lovely Rockstar.
Is that the insane 200 milligram of caffeine one?
Oh yes.
Just what you need. Just what you need to get you
Do
through.
That's the last thing I need. More sugar.
I don't like the high caffeine ones. They feel like gritty.
No,
I'm not a fan of them.
but I don't tend to drink a lot of
It
that.
gets me through a night shift. It gets me through a night shift when I'm tired, so fuck.
Aye.
So that's.
It is what it is.
Oh well then. Well, we'll just get right started right into this anyway. So we all start off with the same question for any of our guests, and the question is, who are you today?
Well, I am a basically brand new content creator. I would like to say. I've dabbled with it in the past, but at some point, I would like to push forward. Elevate my content, so to speak, and I just love video games. I think most people on Twitch like video games. Most gamers, and that's what just brings everyone together. I think it's just a really good way to meet new people and stuff like that. So that's basically me.
That's a good way of putting it, to be fair.
That is. I just want to know how much this man's making. He's going to buy an elevator.
Sprint saying elevate content, moving to OnlyFans.
If only.
I'm moving to OnlyFans, £50, guys, and I'll show you my big toe.
I'm willing to sell feet pics for £10 a monthly subscription. I don't mind.
I will give you 15 not to do that.
I'll take it.
Sold.
Oh man. But God, I know. But yeah, because that's the thing is you're quite new to Twitch in a sense, you'd say. I think you said you streamed a little bit before on it, but it's only been the last kind of 2 months, 3 months that you've took it really seriously.
Yeah, I dabbled with Twitch a couple years back when I first got my PC, but I didn't like the fact that I had to alt tab to check chat or anything like that, double check.
So you only had the single monitor.
Yeah, so I really wanted to stream, and I think in the odd stream I did, I played EU4, but I just didn't like the quality. I kind of see myself as, if I wouldn't watch it, I don't want to make it.
Yeah, I get you, man.
And especially on Twitch, obviously with viewer retention and people clicking into streams and stuff, you want that to be high as possible, so you don't want any. You want to see your stream actively as it's going on, so you know instantly if you're dropping any frames or anything like that. So that's just me. But I started, I would say, back end of July. Streamed a couple weeks of Minecraft just because that's what I was feeling at the time.
Yep.
But I'm a very sociable person, and there was no chat interaction, so I thought, with it being an oversaturated category, I just thought, oh, well, I'll do something I equally enjoy. I'll go play strategy games like EU4 and Hearts of Iron 4, and Hearts of Iron 4 is where I've gained quite a decent following in the last couple of months. So yeah,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, that's a good one as well, mate, because I always remember Reece talking to me about that, talking to him about how much he likes this game, Hearts of Iron 4, how he's doing this and doing that. It was actually me at that point who said, gonna fucking stream this. I want to see what this game's like, but I'll not watch anybody else unless it's somebody I know.
Yeah.
That's how he ended up getting the push into it. And now look at the cunt. Goes out and buys himself a nice computer, nice setup.
I know. I mean, I originally streamed on my laptop. That was how I started. I streamed on a gaming laptop, and honestly, it was the trashiest setup ever. I had my Chromebook open for chat, and it was actually sitting. My laptop was sitting on my bed.
I could just picture it.
Yeah, it was
Chromebook on your bed.
It was just the jankiest setup, and it worked.
Was it not a fire hazard?
Everything was a fucking fire hazard in this room. Like you could hear my laptop whirring as it got to like 1943 in the game with all those divisions. It's just like it just started because it's also running like Streamlabs OBS.
Yeah.
Yeah,
very much so.
Yeah, you could just sit there and imagine listening to that, he's sitting there in his laptop going, "Oh, ball bag, get me up, I'm roasting, ball bag, move me, I'm about to go into flames."
I sat at my legs once and I literally just felt the skins here. Now, thank you very much for the subscription there. You won't hear the notification just now.
It's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. I've been waiting like a week to drop that Prime sub.
I appreciate it, man.
That's another thing for us. We always switch off our notifications and everything like that, just so there's no really like an interruption. Because me and Reece, mainly Reece got me into it, but we do have like the exclamation marks where I sort of after it and it'll make a sound and stuff like that on stream.
Yeah.
So we do have that activated, but because we don't want sitting there and all of a sudden something plays in the background. And that we don't want that to interrupt us all.
Especially with my specific intro command, because that can cause issues on YouTube. Believe it or not.
I'm not surprised that would cause issues on YouTube.
There's a few more of them in the works, but that's coming.
There's always a few of them. There's always a few things in the works.
Liquid, obviously you're a fair bit younger than me and Gizzy. We're old men when it comes to this. But like, what was
yourself?
I know. To be honest, I feel old today. Today's one.
A fucking beard and you're calling me out.
I know. I've got grey in mine. That sets me out. But what I was going to say is, what console and what games actually got you interested in gaming? What was your first remembered experience?
So the very first remembrance I have of any video games ever, it's not the Black Ops 2 or whatever, which may have developed you into I'm going to play games every day now. It was when I was literally a child. I remember on Christmas getting a PS1 with 2 games. I think one of them was Colin McRae Rally.
Yes, I remember this game
because me and my dad. Because me and my dad were, we still are, we're like petrol heads. We absolutely love cars, stuff like that. And I very vividly remember doing a course on a snowy mountain, and my dad's being like, he's natural, like with the controller. That's the very first remembrance I have of it. I don't remember the other game. It must have been shit. But that's the very first game I remember playing. But from the PS1, I got the PS2 after that. Then the Xbox 360 came out, but I got the original Xbox because that's what I wanted, because I thought that was the new one, I think.
Fair enough. I think that happens.
So I went from PS2.
I'm pretty sure the Xbox. I'm pretty sure that one you're talking about, the original Xbox. I'm pretty sure it's sitting here in my cupboard.
Yeah, it's like the rectangle with the Xbox symbol in like an oval on the top, with like the little what do you call them, chevrons on the top. But so I had that, and I went from playing PS2 games to playing Xbox original games like FIFA 05, like stuff like that. And then from there I went to 360, played, and then Call of Duty was what kind of made me want to start gaming. First COD I played was World at War. completed the campaign with my dad. Was surprised when there were zombies at the back end of it, and I was hooked on zombies.
Yeah.
Up until Black Ops 2, and then from there it kind of switched to I played more multiplayer, and I got my mate into zombies. We kind of switched roles, and then from there it's just been like I'll play both, but I prefer zombies now. So
yeah,
back to the old ways.
What was your first game on PC? Sprint's asking. What was the one that you can remember playing on that?
First proper game on PC, played on an Acer laptop years ago before I had a desktop PC. I think it was Zoo Tycoon or something of that nature.
One of the Tycoon games, probably.
I like the building games and stuff like that on PC. That's what I originally see as the difference between. Originally, that's how I saw the difference between console and PC, because on a laptop back then, you couldn't run a Call of Duty or anything like that. You played a Tycoon or a building or whatever.
Because you could play it slower and it would run better in the background.
Yeah, so I think it was Zoo Tycoon that I played first on PC years ago as a child.
I get you, man. I get you.
Wow. I'm having the internet issues again, mate, man. I've just jumped up to there by freaking 800 frames in 2 seconds.
Oh, dear God. If this
cancels it, mate, I'm passing it out to you.
That's fine, man. No worries. What I was going to say is, for me, first game on PC was actually, I think it was Rome War. I think I'm going back to it. Was either, I'm sure it was Rome War. I remember, like, on a Windows Millennium, Windows 2000, running Rome Total War, and absolutely just playing the shit out of that game. Like, once I unlocked all the different factions, I got Alexander and all those kind of things. Like, I think I was actually a PC gamer more seriously before the but before I actually got seriously into consoles, and then I kind of swapped back because I just seem to like strategy games. That your internet completely gone.
Mate, I just jumped up another freaking. Basically, you know the percentage drop in your frame rate and everything. I started after 0.1 of my frame rate drop, which is usually what I get, and then I just shot right up to fucking 12% of frame rate drop. So
yeah, your internet's worse than mine was back in the day,
mate. I don't even know what the hell the problem is with it. Like, literally, I'll be completely honest. If it's just me and you doing it, HOD's fine. If I've got somebody else in, like your man here, it drops. I think it's something to do with my Discord and all of that. It's not it's not your fault, mate. I think it's something to do with like Discord and the OBS and usage and stuff like that.
Aye, yeah, could be, man. It could be, but
I need to move to get better internet.
You do, mate. You do.
Fuck it, but we'll crack on. Aye.
What was your first PC game, Gizzy? That's
Grand Theft Auto.
GTA. Fair enough.
GTA. What GTA with the wee one fucking pixel guy where every 2 seconds all you see was like that move with the arms.
And that's old. I remember playing a game similar to that. Do you remember Driver? Like on the Game Boy? That was those were games. And then you get the, I think you get made for the 360 as well.
Yeah, it did get made for the 360.
Made for the 360 because I owned it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say.
I'll get you to this point. Can any of you name the first console that you ever played? Like, it isn't the first one you owned. It's the first one you ever got a shot of.
What, like, as in?
Well, the first ever console that I owned that was mine was the Nintendo 64. But I played a Sega Saturn before it.
Right. So the first one like you bought like fully.
Well, the first one that you owned, okay, or in a sense, you've already said that yours was kind of like the PS1 style. What was the first one you ever played? As in, did your dad have an older console? Did your cousin have an older console? Stuff like
that. The very first one I played was the PS1.
What about you, Reece?
Very first.
I think it was the SNES with my uncle. And Sprint's asking GTA 1 or 2. Do you remember?
GTA 1. I'm that old.
Yeah.
I'm that old.
Aye. I think Sprint's similar ages as us to be.
Hey, I might be old, but at least I've still got fucking my hair and I know I've got a grey beard.
I know, tell me about it. I get slagged saying they had the McDonald's Archies the other.
That's a good gene.
I was.
When they talk about that bit off your roof, and they talk about your wee bit of your hairline.
Yeah, got it.
With you saying that your GTA, you played GTA 1, it makes me feel really young, right? Because when I was on 360, GTA 4 was obviously phasing out.
Yeah.
And then
GTA
I got into
5.
gaming after GTA 5. So
I'll make you feel extremely old now, Liquid. First ever game I played was the 1998 release of Street Fighter. That was my first ever game. And I'll make you feel even older. I played that in an arcade cabinet, in an actual arcade. I was just in the front of my house.
Oh man,
that's how old am I?
We're old, man. We're old. But what I was going to say is, like, where did you just try not to feel as old as what it's just? Seen flashbacks, just like having PTSD and
This is your conscience speaking.
Oh god, thanks, man. Thanks. Pong was Sprint's first console. I feel a wee bit better about myself. Hey, Pong.
Is that an Atari in it?
Must have been. Where did your name actually come from, Liquid? Because obviously I know you as Luke as well, but I call people gamer tags. That's just how it's always been for me. Is like, although I know Gizzy through real life, I find myself when I'm on chat like this in games, I call him Gizzy just because it's the natural thing. Yeah.
It's a natural thing for all gamers today.
Yeah. I mean, my name has stood now strong for about 6-7 years since I was basically first online on a console. Like I say, I played a lot of Black Ops 2. Was where I had some of my best moments. The greatest COD. Absolutely goated. And I was a big fan of Nadeshot.
Yep.
And obviously he was a professional player at the time. Obviously he's gone on to making his own professional team, making a company, stuff like that. But I liked Nadeshot. I didn't know exactly what he meant by it, but yeah, I'm like, well, I'm a pretty good shot. I call myself a hot shot, and I honestly can't remember where Liquid came from. But it's stuck and it just it goes Liquid Hotshot.
Yeah, if it's like that's it.
I think I actually really do like your name. I'll admit that. Do you know how Nadeshot got his name?
I don't know.
Nadeshot is he actually got his name from Halo. In Halo, see if you throw a nade and the nade explodes and you shoot somebody in the head at the same time, you get a medal called Nadeshot. That's how Nadeshot actually got his name.
Wow.
Yep.
He'll be first to even admit it to you. He done it back in Halo 2, because if you watch any video on that when he's admitting what his favourite games are, he admits Halo 2 is his favourite game, and that's where his name came from.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's like, that's the thing, is everybody's name comes from kind of a different place.
Can anybody remember the first ever gamer tag?
I remember my first Microsoft generated gamer tag on the 360.
Mate, mine was fucking sick. I wish I kept it.
I'm kind like, it was Skits Void Cobra 719.
Skits Void. That's brilliant. That's amazing.
You remember your generated name?
Yeah, I mean, I still use mine. Reece I no one had that, but the way I got it was I had capitalised the C and capitalised the last R. So Reece has been my moniker online for so long, and then but I created a different account because I basically had to. I was getting a lot of hate on it was a hot account because I used to be quite trolly back in the day, and then proceeded to change my name to XI Tentacle IX for Call of Duty. So
I'm not going to lie. When I first ever met you, Reece, and I thought you were into gaming and stuff, I've honestly thought your name would have been Ballcut69 the way you were.
Yeah, that's not far off it.
My first ever generated name, and I still think it was one of the sickest names ever. I kind of wish I kept it. Was Ripping Carcasses.
Because he's Jesus Christ.
It's not bad. It's not bad. But is it up there with Skits Void Cobra 719?
It's just the word skits.
I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. That's the name I played with on 360. I think for a week after because I think it generated online because I got I think a 1 month membership at the time. So it generated because I'd been playing single player, all the campaigns of all the Call of Duties I had at the time. And then I go online with my first month membership. He's like, hey, here's your new name. I'm like, I don't like that name. I'm going to change it. I don't know where, like I say, I got Liquid from, but
it just came from somewhere. No, that's fair enough.
As I say, it does really, really fit. It does fit nice and perfect.
Aye, that's it. Because it is also like kind of like your as a Call of Duty one.
About that. See, even talking about that, like you've played a lot of campaigns and stuff, like you said, a lot of the Call of Duty campaigns.
Yes.
The one that always stuck out for me right now was World at War, when you were trying to basically, I think it was trying to storm the trenches or something like that, and it was just a shitload of guys with fucking flamethrowers.
Yeah,
I just remember that mission and that. But my question to add on to this is, all right, and I'll even bring up my one, and Reece will probably answer his. What's been the most stressful part of a game for you? Like, for a perfect example for you like this, my favourite game of all time is Zelda Ocarina of Time. I've replayed that game, I don't know how much. I've played I've played the remake in the 3DS when it came out, and they made the water temple a lot simpler. But back in the day, the water temple for me used to take me 5-6 hours. And granted, on top of this, I was only a 6-year-old boy at the time.
Yeah.
So I think I added about 20 years onto my fucking age just playing through that temple. But what, of your opinion, what was the most stressful game or stressful level that you can think of? It's like I said, mine's is always going to be Zelda's water temple.
I've played a lot. I've played a lot of campaign, but I don't think any of the Call of Duty campaigns have been that stressful. I remember briefly replaying Modern Warfare Remastered campaign, and I decided at the bright age of 15 to do it on Veteran, or I think the highest difficulty.
Is it the plane level? Is it the plane level?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't the plane level.
Was it the sniper?
It was the fucking cat. Oh, it's 40,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town.
Pripyat.
You went underneath. You went underneath a merry-go-round, right? And you had to get exfilled by a chopper. And you had to wait for the chopper to come like 15 kilometers out, right? And I must have put upwards of 20 hours in that one mission. And still to this day on my PlayStation 4 account, I have yet to done it.
40,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town.
And
now it's a ghost
town.
town.
I've got grey hair, yeah. Because fucking there's no cover. You were there with a sniper, and if you picked up an AR, there was even less ammo. You felt like it went out faster. Then the dogs were unbelievable. So
I never actually did. I never finished that campaign on the hardest difficulty. I only did the plane mission to try and do it under a certain time.
Yeah, that was. I remember watching speed runs of those on YouTube.
Just want to point one thing out before we go any further. I literally completed Doom 2 today on bloody nightmare mode. So literally 2 shots and you're dead, and I actually completed the full game. And it's my first ever time playing Doom 2.
Sounds like absolute hell. I wouldn't do it.
Mate, it was hell.
To white torture myself.
This was my first bit of it. I ran out the wee corridor. I died straight away. I'm like that.
You're like, what the fuck have I got myself into?
Yeah. That's it, man. I mean,
I'm sitting there looking at this wee demon just looking at me, and all I see was the troll face on it. Was just sitting there going, yes.
Oh man, most stressful I've ever been is actually, believe it or not, I got into the really kind of serious historical multiplayers. For Poly 4, they're like sweat, well, not sweat, but they're pretty bad for your old stress level. Because as I said, we had a game against Dankus because he was in Vox's one of Vox's games, and then also the time I had to step up and play as France, and I basically just played France the same way I played South Africa. Built heavy tanks.
Did it work?
Nice.
Yeah, it was yeah, it was pretty.
That's like Reece 01 meta right there.
Yeah,
pick a country, heavy tanks.
Heavy tanks, TAC-2s.
it don't matter whether you're Tanner 2, but just make heavy tanks in the fine.
Yeah. Just
one thing,
that single division
one
just to
thing
sit on your capital.
The one thing I want to see, and I want to see it in a Reece stream, and I know I just want to see it because he's already told me. I want to see him try to teach somebody how to play Hoi 4, and I want to see him get pissed off.
Oh,
I've never seen Reece angry.
I tell you what, my best friend owns Hearts of Iron 4. He's not a PC gamer. He's never played a strategy game a day in his life, but he decided to cop Hoi 4, right? And he's like, Luke, will you walk me through it? And this was like at the start of quarantine. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll teach you. Anyway, it took me like 3 hours to make him kind of understand that he's still got pop-ups on his screen that he hadn't even dealt with. Like he clicked on the production interface. He's like, all right, that's done now. I'll click off it. And then he clicked off it. And then he's like, why is it still showing up? I'm like, well, you need to assign the military factories. He's like, what's a production line? I'm like, you pick what you want, you click in this box, and it will give you an extra factory on it.
Yep.
It's like, I don't understand it.
Yep.
Honestly, he's my best friend. To this day, I've known him for years, and it drove me up the wall.
I have tried to teach people to play the game. I do not have the patience for it, and that's why I refuse, William. I will never sell myself up shit creek without a paddle like that ever again. Because I like having my nice persona on stream. I like to keep that. I don't want to. I that's why I have the swear more command, because I've now almost completely stopped swearing on stream.
I have fixed the internet.
Well done, you. But I will keep my nice person persona, and that's
family friendly.
Not quite family friendly, but close enough.
See,
close enough.
That's why I have this button.
Yeah, that's why I don't drink on stream anymore, or don't drink like heavily on stream anymore, because it just goes
tits up.
Goes Pete Tong, like absolutely.
2 minutes. I need to phone a doctor. Reece not drinking. I need to phone a doctor.
I know. Tell me about it. I'm doing quite well for myself on that front. A Scotsman that doesn't drink or doesn't drink much anymore.
It's like an Englishman who doesn't like tea.
Yeah, that's fair. God.
You don't like tea? Jesus Christ.
I do like tea. I'm just saying it is like comparison.
Yeah. Trick doesn't like tea.
Well, Trix is the anomaly.
Yeah, he is. Trick something else. But you're first. He's Welsh. Oh God. He's one of us then. He's Celtic.
You are now one of us.
I don't know if I want
one of us. And there's the spike.
Is it dead as well?
Internet.
But
fucking shite.
See, I was gonna say, Liquid, your first streams were in Minecraft, and then that's when you swapped over to Hoi 4.
Yes.
Like, what made you kind of go from how did you kind of know what content would work for you, or was it literally just the trial and error of it?
It was kind of a bit of both. It was, I'd done research. I'm not necessarily a Twitch watcher. I don't watch much on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
I'll only watch people in the community, or maybe someone that I watch on YouTube is streaming on Twitch, so I might check that out. So I painstakingly would check the Hoi 4 page after my streams on Minecraft to see who was live, what they were doing, for how many viewers, this, that, and the other, and how long they were streaming for, like on average. At that point, I didn't know Sully Gnome existed.
Yep.
Which was absolutely lovely for me to find out about. So I had to do it all manually, basically. But it was over like a week and a half where I kind of decided, yeah, I want to move to Hoi 4 because I know that the community for Hoi 4, if they want to watch it, they'll watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's as simple as that. And I think with Minecraft, it was like it's way too oversaturated. It's way too popular. I like Hearts of Iron 4, and I know the Hoi 4 community is small, but it's its own niche.
Yes.
So it's its own group on Twitch. And if you stream Hoi 4, I know people from, for example, if they were watching Buck Owen, they might go and watch Spiffing Brit, or they might go and watch Alex the Rambler, or they might go watch Tommy K. But also, they go and check out small streamers like Dankus and stuff like that. So
yeah, no, yeah,
it was kind of trial and effort, but also like organic research. And then I'm just like, well, I fucking want to play Hoi 4, so fucking shoot me in the foot if you're gonna stop me. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, I get that, man.
That's always been one of the things I've said to anybody coming new into streaming. I've said to them 101 times because I am the god at switching games. I get bored so fucking easy with a game and then I switch to the next one. So I have turned around and said 1,001 times, everybody play what makes you happy. And it's hard for me. It is. I've said 1,001 times. It's hard for me. I enjoy fighting games, but I don't enjoy streaming my fighting games. I just enjoy playing them in my off time. Anytime I've tried streaming them, I've always been quite bad or I've always been annoyed at it. Just stuff like that. What else? I stream a lot of Apex, but Apex is just for the fun of it.
Yeah. And I think
the game that I really did play. Oh, when you go, sorry.
It's kind of key as well, playing what you want to play.
It is.
Because I was obviously, I watched the Gravity one, right? But it's a universal point that I made, right? But it is a fact. You can tell which streamers like playing what they're playing and dislike what they're playing. It's as simple as that. If they're not enjoying it, they're not going to interact well. They might not act better on face cam or whatever. They might be a bit ruder to the audience or something like that. But if they enjoy it, you'll see way more interaction, and with the chat, they'll be more happy. And then in turn, the viewers will be happy and they'll be glad that they're watching, and they might tune in, you know, the day after or whenever you stream next. I think that's a big thing.
Exactly, man. That's it.
It is that. Like, I've had a couple of people on that were in my streams and that pure ages ago, and I'll be honest, I had one of them not that long ago. It was actually no long after you left my Apex stream, Reece. A guy came in, and I've not seen him in ages, and I'll tell you how long it's been, and Reece, you'll be able to get the data of this. He turned around and goes like that to us, whatever happened to Smite?
Yeah, that's the thing, because that was a good couple of, that was what, 4 or 5 months now? I'm losing track of time because of COVID, but
mate, Smite was last year. Smite was before lockdown. Smite was before New Year. I played Smite from July last year up until I think it was the start of December, when I threw Splatoon in at that point because I wanted to play a shooter, but I didn't want to play a serious shooter.
Yeah.
And then Splatoon kind of took over.
Yeah, but you still had your Friday Smite stream. Well,
no, it was Monday Smite. It was Monday Smites.
Same difference to me. I didn't know what day of the week it was when I was doing my dissertation. I just knew that it was day or night.
you knew it needed doing.
Yeah, basically. It was. But that kind of shows you how far back it was, to be fair. And we got an argument about being Welsh and British.
Like,
I've just
looking like Cowpat from the Netherlands.
Yeah, God love them. Someone has to. Shut up! You support Scottish independence. Christ. He's saving up channel points so he can make me say something about the union. Oh man. But to be fair, I know. What was I going to say? But then, so that's how you kind of found your content that worked for you, and you obviously. But have you played games that you actually found that you didn't enjoy, and it took you a little bit of time to realise? Like,
yes, one of them, Black Ops 4.
Yep.
Black Ops 4 was Activision and Treyarch's response to Fortnite and Red Dead Redemption 2. And it showed, because the development cycle was 3 years.
Yep.
It was the same as Black Ops 3, right? And Black Ops 3 was an absolute masterclass, right? From gameplay being extremely smooth to storyline being epic and stuff like that, if you wanted to do that. and it worked very smooth on Black Ops 3. But Activision, first of all, the game got released a month before any other Call of Duty had ever been released.
Yep.
It got released in October rather than
the big November reveal and release.
And it was plagued with what we call on PlayStation blue screens. So basically, game crashing.
Yeah.
Like you do something that might lower the frame rate by 5 frames, and you wouldn't even notice it to the eye, but your system just
can't handle it.
Yeah, because the game was so unstable. And I was so hyped for that game. I got it in late October, a couple of weeks after release, when people were still happy about how it was, even though there was blue screens. And I played a fair bit of it, and then I just kind of I closed the application like within its cycle. I'm like, yeah, this has to stop. I do not enjoy this.
Yeah.
And it was the first major FPS game I played and I didn't like. Like, I skipped Advanced Warfare. I skipped Call of Duty Ghosts. And I liked Black Ops 3 multiplayer, which was different because even though it was advanced movement, I was a fan of it because it felt smoother.
Right.
It was a lot smoother. Because I did play the Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3. And this movement in Black Ops 3 was so much smoother. But opinionally, I don't know what it is. I think Treyarch have got everything down to a T when it comes to everything.
Yes.
Infinity Ward, the best game they've ever, well, the 2 best games in my opinion for them are always got to be Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2. And I'm talking about the original Modern Warfare, not this new one. That was their most polished games. Yeah. And for some reason after that, they just seem to shoot downhill. Ghosts was decent, but the time to kill was far too quickly. And then it just became a game of bloody vectors. That was literally it. It was a game.
Yeah, I remember that actually. One of the last things that I remember about Call of Duty games that is when I stopped playing multiplayer. Was that.
See, one of the ways you think about it as well, like when Sledgehammer Games came into the mix, Sledgehammer Games tried to do the best of both worlds, if you want.
Didn't they work with Infinity Ward and MW3?
No, everyone says that. They were in the offices at the time trying to learn the structure of a Call of Duty game. Right, they didn't actually do anything. They were just trying to learn the structure of how Call of Duty games work. But I'll put it forward this way, and this isn't this is a freaking slam against them. Sledgehammer, literally, they tried their best to incorporate everything that made the 2 companies great. And opinionally as well, their first release was Advanced Warfare. And what the first thing they decided to do was add exo zombies. Exo zombies killed zombies for me at that point. I didn't want to play zombies after that.
Yeah.
And then the following year, if I remember rightly, the following year was back to Treyarch.
It was Black Ops 3.
And their zombies just literally saved everything again.
Yeah.
The only thing that Treyarch have ever bodged up when it came to something was Black Ops 4 Zombies. Opinionally, it was the Black Ops 4 Zombies because they took everything out the game that was roots. Yep. Zombies has always been the same thing for me since I first played it back in World at War. It was get 2 guns or 3 when they brought in Mule Kick. But I'll be honest, Mule Kick was a fantastic perk, but it was always get 2 guns, get your 4 perks, survive for as long as possible.
Yeah.
And then you start to get
it all over again. Yeah, exactly.
The replayability of it was incredible. The replayability was incredible because the way it worked for me, I've always had this mindset of I want to better myself. So I think the first ever time I played zombies, I got to round 20 on Nacti and Totten. I was like, that was great. I'm sure I can beat this.
Better? Yeah.
That was literally it. I'm sure I can beat this. And then I started seeing all the different challenges. Like, all right, then I can do a first room challenge.
You can do a pistol challenge. You can do
exactly.
Yeah.
See back this is going right back. I've got an old YouTube channel. It's taken down now. I did one and it was the 2-box challenge. The 2-box challenge on every single map. Back for World at War up to the end of Black Ops 2 at the time. I done a 2-box challenge. And Reece, if you know what the 2-box challenge is, mate, is you use your pistol at the start.
You
can't buy any weapons. You can't buy any weapons at all. You use your pistol. You have to hit the box. Whatever gun you get out of that box, that's gun 1. then your choice after that is you can respin the box, and you can either A, trade at the pistol, or B, trade at the gun you got the first time. That's your 2-gun challenge.
Yeah.
I'll give you the 1 point. This was what I got at the 2-gun challenge in that the Untaught. I got the Panzerschreck as my first gun. I was like, great. So now I'm stuck with a Panzerschreck and a pistol. I went, all right, I'll spin the box again. And this is back at the time where I thought, all right, I need to trade the pistol away, so now I need to get 2 different guns. I got the fucking M1, what was it, the M1 Carbine or the M1 Grand? With the launcher on it.
You were fucked, man, from the get-go at that point. That was just...
Hey, you might say that. I survived to round 30 with A2 guns.
Aye.
Just out of sheer strategy, just out of sheer movement,
running around.
knowing how to run.
Yeah.
Knowing how to run the route.
I can imagine, man. I can imagine. But, like, for yous then, because this is actually... I wrote this question with both yous in mind, knowing that yous are, like, big zombies fans. I like it. I played a lot of it, but I stopped probably, yeah. I stopped...
Big zombies fans, aye?
Yep. I stopped probably Black Ops 2. So, that was where I kind of stopped playing it. And I maybe got a game here or there, but do you think it's going to go the way that you want it to go? Like, what's the...
I'll let Gizzy answer this one first because of his opinion on Black Ops 4.
I'll put it forward in a sense like this anyway, Reece, alright? Opinion, like, we come from 2 different types here, alright? The way I watched, I watched, like, when they do his run on Origin, and he was going for the lights, going for the stars, going for the Easter eggs, doing stuff like that. I've never been an Easter egg guy, and I could do an Easter egg, no bother. I've completed the Origin map, I don't know how many times. I've completed that, the first Black Ops 3 map, same way. I've done all the Easter eggs and stuff, but I've always been a pure survival zombies player. I want the high rounds.
Yeah,
like,
I get you, man.
My highest round, I think I told you about it. I was like
171 on Kino,
171, 172 on Kino. I'm basically Kino de Totten. So the first Black Ops 1 zombies map where you're in the big theater and that. I got to around 171 or 72 in that, and I did that just all I was doing was just playing the game, as in I kept the thunder gun on me at all times. I pack-a-punched it to the Zeus cannon, and then I was always trading out my other weapons. So I would have a ray gun, I use all the bullets,
and
I pack-a-punch it,
use all
the bullets, trade it out for something else.
Yeah.
And then when they brought Mule Kick into that map, this is where I'll stand by. When they brought Mule Kick into that map, I could carry an MP40 with me at all times. That was just my money-making gun.
Yeah, MP40 for...
That was the money-making gun.
For points, aye.
I used to have this joke as well with my old friend that we used to play it, because it's like when people used to come in and play zombies, because that's all me and him played at one point. We used to come in. How do you use aim when you used to play this? And we used to always make the same joke. Aim? What is aiming? What is this you're talking about?
Yeah.
What the fuck's aiming, dude?
You only aim the first couple of rounds. You only aim the first couple of rounds with your pistol so you can save the bullets. That's it.
The only if you're ever training the zombies, you literally group them up, you spin round, you spray a clip in them, you reload your gun, do the same again. That's all you do.
Yeah.
The only time you ever aim down sight is if you're in a tight corridor and you have a full spray at every one of their heads. That's the only time you put an aim down sight. And even in that, you barely do it.
Or if you're a console player and you've got Deadshot Daiquiri, you get extreme aim assist on the head. Like you could probably, I don't think on my Origins stream, I showed it because I was obviously using the staff. But when you're on console, so I think on PC it just deals with sway, but
with PC, is the PC. Have you ever played a shooter yet? Have you played an FPS on PC using a mouse and keyboard?
I have played Black Ops 2 Zombies.
All right, so you've never actually played like a proper way of playing it then?
Nah.
The best way to explain it is your aim assist is just the equivalent of moving a mouse about. That's all aim assist really is. It just feels overpowered and looks overpowered, but at the same time, with somebody with really, really, really good aim and right good practice on a mouse, for talk's sake, we'll use Shroud, because Shroud's always been known for having one of the best aims you've ever seen in a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
If you can get to that point where you're like him, there's no very many people that can outshoot you on a keyboard and mouse, but it's because of that you get the whole argument of, yours are better because you can aim straighter with a mouse, and then it's, but they've got aim assist, so they don't get any sway or anything. It's like, no, each of them have got this to balance.
Yeah.
Each of them have got this balance. The only difference being is it's easier to control recoil on a mouse than it is on
that
2.6.
that is unbelievably true. Unbelievably true.
You can go into some of your settings though, when you're on PC, and you can basically, if you've got the controller, you can stick on the equivalent of aim assist in some games.
Most aim assist comes on automatically when you plug a controller in. Most aim assists do. I know Fortnite's a big one for it because for some reason that is not even aim assist. That's fucking aim assist on bloody cocaine, steroids.
It's just aimbot.
Yeah.
It's one step down for an aimbot. With Apex, I've played Apex on a controller as well because I wanted to test out some of the theories. Apex's aim assist is non-existent.
Yeah,
all they have is a snap on to an aim. All they have is a snap on, and then the gun is just like shooting with a mouse and keyboard again.
Aye, Apex with a controller didn't help me. I'm still shit at the game. You couldn't carry me too far.
But yeah, we'll get back into the question about zombies. As I say, I've always been a solid survivor in a sense. So the way I've always played zombies, I never cared about finding Easter eggs or stuff like that. I cared about the box location, the perks location, and the best way of running a route. That's all I ever cared about. The only other thing I learned was spawn locations. That was the only other thing I learned. So I knew exactly like where to be, group all the zombies up, where to run them in a sense, where I know I'm not going to get any spawning behind me, or if I'm running through routes or stuff.
That's what you were doing in that Origins run, I'm sure.
I can't really take credit for running a route because Origins on Black Ops 3 Zombies Chronicles is literally the strategy is right. Mind the pain on my right shoulder. The strategy is you make the ice staff, and you can get the ice staff done, as in made and upgraded by round 6 if you're slow. You can have it quickest at round 4. And you sit in a tunnel and press your trigger up until round 100, basically.
Yeah.
A bit of thought has to go into it when Panzers come, the mid-round boss, and when you don't have the right gobble gums, right? So you don't have infinite ammo for 60 seconds or something like that.
This is where I'll go into something as well. I'm sorry to interrupt you again, but this is where I'll go into something as well. To me, I never use gobble gums. I have hundreds, and I'm talking about hundreds back in my Xbox account, but I have never used gobble gums when I've played Black Ops 3. And I think that's just me being me in a sense. It's like, all right, I don't want to use this. To me, this is an assist, and I know for a fact I could probably like double my rounds and everything because I'm still pushing round 60 or stuff like that before I'm getting my first down. So I'm pushing round 60 before my first down and stuff, and I know for a fact if I add this in, 1, I could probably double my speed going through the rounds. 2, I could probably double my round level before I get my downs.
Yeah, exactly. I absolutely love training. That's one of the big things I loved about Black Ops 2. It was the kind of made training a plausible thing in Black Ops 2. Like, it had become a strategy in Black Ops 1. In Black Ops 2, they kind of enhanced it but made it more challenging with maps like Town and Transit with fire on the floor. So you had to be careful with your routes. You had to jump, which could slow down your movement. So do you take stamina up over speed cola so you can keep the distance whilst you reload your weapon and stuff like that. And then Black Ops 3 went back to the World at War method. I really want to say in camping. You look at Shadows of Evil, the Apothecan's Servant, the Squid Gun, basically black hole portal gun. You can sit in a corner with that up until round 255, which is the max round on console. Giant, you sit on the catwalk. It is literally just a remake of Der Reece.
Do you know that was one of
the
greatest
maps? Yeah, Der Reece was my first DLC that I got on World at War as a kid, and I fucking loved the original.
And it was also the first introduction to Pack-a-Punch, and they gave you the first ever Easter egg. It gave you the first ever Easter egg.
Yeah.
First and the Easter egg for that was just activating and getting a sound.
Shoot 3 things across the map with a Pack-a-Punch weapon, and you get an audio cue.
That's
OG Easter eggs right there.
Do you know? It's one of the best ones. It was like, see, looking at it nowadays. Okay, and now the only one I'm going to use here is the buried one because this was the first Easter egg I put the time into and completed. And the way about that is you need to get this ball, you need to take it over now to this guillotine, you need to kill zombies around about it, you need to take it to this place, kill zombies around about it.
You need to decipher a code. You all need vulture aid.
Do you know, and this is one thing as well that annoyed me about that buried Easter egg. You could not do it solo.
No.
You couldn't do it solo. You have to have a team of 4 because in one part of the Easter egg, you have to shoot targets in 4 different places on the map. And they all appear here at the same time.
Yeah.
You miss one of the targets, you're resetting that Easter egg and starting from the very beginning again. It's the only one you needed a full team for. But you're talking about like good OG Easter eggs. Take Kino de Totten when that map first came out. And here's one for you as well. Did you know that Kino de Totten was actually supposed to be the very last DLC in World at War?
Yeah, it was meant to be the 4th DLC for World at War.
Yep.
And it fit the aesthetic because it was basically Reece. So I watched a retrospective of a big zombies guy on YouTube. He's got a series where he goes over all the maps, and I watched his Kino retrospective, and he said the only reason why Kino is loved more and seen more as a better map than Reece was because it took what Reece had, the winning formula of Reece, and instead of being on DLC, it was on launch. It was on your disc. You could put it in your console or load up your PC, and Kino was there. It was very similar to Reece in the fact that you had the teleporters before you could get Pack-a-Punch. You had your all 4 perks. It was still a very dreary
it was I know what you mean. It's a dreary feeling. It's basically the way me and Reece are sitting, like it's like this dark atmosphere.
Yeah.
You can only see colours so often and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing was as well, see, if you really see, if you take the Reece, for example, I'll just explain it as well, Reece. If you take the Reece, for example, get yourself a round where you've got every room opened up, keep one zombie. I can give you different locations of the map. See if you go and visit these locations, you get the blueprints for the Thunder Gun, you get the blueprints for the way Kino looks, you get other things.
I think you get the blueprint for one of the teleporters.
Yep, and you know, this one actually, it wasn't like nobody really like picked it up and it was big or anything or that at the time. Do you remember in Black Ops 1 you had to put the code in the computer to unlock 5?
Do you
remember that?
Oh yeah, or if you played the whole campaign.
Yeah. Aye, but see, here's one for you as well. See that code. The reason that code became a thing, there's actually a poster in the Reece. It has this code written on it, and it's got a picture of a pentagon. That's how people started to try to figure it out.
Fair enough. That's how it's more like
OG Easter egg hunting. Yeah.
Yeah. This is where it comes to, mate. Like, see, 5 was supposed to be the first release map on Black Ops, and I'll hold my hands up. 5 was a good map, not the best. I can pick 1,001 things wrong with it, and the one I hated the most was the Mad Doctor. You could be sitting there, you're fully kitted out, you've got this ray gun, you're running down a hallway, you're shooting, you turn around, there's the fucking doctor and snatches your gun after you, you're like that. You're looking at him like, oh, I need that.
I don't think 5's difficult. It's more challenging. It's not difficult. It's
not. See,
it's expensive to get set up, but when you get there, you're fine.
Yeah.
It's no challenging. It's annoying. It's annoying more than challenging because of that. Same way, I thought Ascension was a great map, the way the Ascension felt and everything. But the monkeys ruined it because if you had all 4 perks, they can attack any perk machine and they can attack 2 simultaneously. And if they break that perk machine, you've lost that perk machine for a full round.
Yeah.
And that's what used to annoy me.
And then you need to rebuy it the round after that.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, if every zombies player had the same thing as soon as that round came in, protect Jug. That was all we cared about. Protect Jug.
You need Jug for that, for just any zombies map now, for any long
even
runs.
At that, man, talking about perks and stuff like that, if you're talking about perks, you have to think about the Cosmonaut and Moon. You ever ran into that Cosmonaut and Moon? He steals a perk. I don't know how he steals a perk, but he steals a perk.
Yeah, he'd send you red screen with Jug, send you flying off to a different part of the map, and steal a perk.
Yeah,
and the most annoying part was,
in your face, which is just
the most annoying part about it was, see if you lost Jug. If you were doing this and you lost Jug, Jug spawned in Area 51.
Yeah, so you had to go back, and it was tedious because if you went back and Speed Cola spawned,
you need to go back to Moon and go right round a full game.
Yep.
It was the most tedious thing ever.
And there was no movement system between it. There wasn't a teleporter. There wasn't a zip line. Like
the pain in both your voices and faces is just, I love it.
Oh,
I mean, let's put it this way, right? I played Moon, and I was younger than Gizzy, right? You can imagine a young adolescent going back to play Black Ops 1 because it's a really good zombies game, only to play Moon, and he's utterly distraught when he has to run around the map several times
to get Jug.
To get Jug.
Yeah.
Because he was stupid and got trapped in a corner.
Right.
Do you know? I'll even give you all of this. And do you know the zombie storyline at all, Liquid?
Yeah, I keep up. That's like my thing.
I'll give you this one, and this will really test your knowledge. How did that actually begin? Like, what gave Treyarch that idea behind it?
What, behind the Moon?
No, behind making the storyline. What? Because remember, Nacti on Top was just released, and it was just survive.
Just a bunker. It was just a bunker.
What gave them that idea to make it into a storyline?
I can't tell you what made them want to make it a storyline, but I can tell you. I can tell you how it started.
I can tell you the full storyline and everything myself as well. Do you want to know? And this is the best part of it, this is when Treyarch listened to the community.
Oh yeah.
That Zombies game, that Nacti Untaught and kicked off the full Zombies franchise, the full Zombies community, and a lot of people rallied around it. And I mean, like, come on, take people, for example, you got Noah J, who was one of the biggest ones, Syndicate, who was one of the biggest ones. You've got so many people that thrived on that game.
Yeah.
And it all started off because there was one person that put up in a forum, why does a zombie say Sam when it hits you? If you go back to the original World at War and listen, when a zombie hits you, it sounds as if it's going Sam every time it hits you. So that's where Samantha started coming into play.
I've played World at War Zombies recently because I've been playing that on campaign on PC. And now that you say that, it's noticeable because you play all the modern ones. And it's just, you know, they're just whining and shit, but they hit you and it sounds like they're saying Zam with like a Z, but like I can understand why they're saying Sam. Yeah.
So that's how that all started off. And then, what was it? The story actually never came into play until the Reece. This is where the best part is. It never came into play until the Reece.
Incorrect. Shino Numa, right?
Was you sure it was Shino Numa? Because I always thought
I'm telling you right now, Gizzy, it is Shino Numa, right? So
remember, I can be louder.
Right.
Here we go.
Nact, it was your Marines stuck in the bunker. Verrucht, it was an insane asylum owned by Group 935 for experiments. But by the time a Marine extraction unit had gone there to pick up Peter Kane, who was a undercover agent for the Americans, by the time the Marines got there, the whole thing had been infested and the Germans had left.
Yeah.
Right. So the Marines fought there and eventually died. But anyway, in Shino Numa, Dr. Edward Richtofen, Tank Dempsey, Nikolai Belinsky, and Takeo Masaki are at what is known as a Division 9 facility in Japan called Shino Numa. Now, they go there.
I give you a comment for now. You're coming for
Richtofen's diary.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from now. I was meaning like, see, like I was saying to you the storyline for that. I was meaning like the storyline never took its legs until the Reece started where you said.
Yes.
This is when everybody started like picking up on it. Now it's like,
so when it all pieced itself
really
together.
Something.
Yeah.
Aye, it's like, oh, they're really doing something with this. I mean, like, I don't. Did they? What was it? Was it the Reece or was it Kino de Totten? They actually started getting all the characters, the personalities.
It was Shino Numa where they first were introduced and they had some very minute voice lines.
Yeah,
but they were very similar. But it was the Reece where they were developed upon and give them like a proper. In Shino Numa, they didn't interact with one another, but they had their own unique voice lines.
Yeah, I remember that in Reece. I remember that. Talk
to one another and talk about what you were buying off the wall and like, why can you buy this from Chalk? And I love you, Jugger Girl, and
do you know the best line ever still to this day, in my opinion, and the first time I heard it was in Kino, was solo run playing Nikolai, kill a zombie. You are dead now, but you were dead before. Ah, fuck you. Best line ever.
Yeah, that is pretty good actually. Like, so
Best line ever.
I want to ask this from you two. What is
Go for it.
what is your favourite maps? What was your
Kino.
so yours is Kino. What's yours, Liquid?
Mob of the Dead.
Mob of the Dead.
So
Great map.
So we
Great
were
map.
from obviously different times, right? I originally did play Nacht, and then I went and played the Reece, and then that was on World at War.
Yep.
And then from there I played Black Ops 1, but at the time I had Kino 5, Call of the Dead, and Moon. So
Yeah.
I didn't play Ascension, I didn't play Shangri-La on Black Ops 1.
Yeah.
But on Black
You didn't
Ops
miss
2,
it much.
yeah, but on Black Ops 2 I owned all the DLC. So I owned Die Rise, Buried, Mob of the Dead, and Origins. And obviously that's where I started to play Black Ops 2. That's why I had all DLCs. And Mob of the Dead built on what kind of worked in transit. So Jimmy Zielinski was the head of zombies for all of World at War Story, all Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 2 Transit, Die Rise, and Buried.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
Jason Blundell took the buildables and made them more viable in Mob of the Dead and gave everything a better, I would call it a little bit of Blundell zest. Sprinkled a little bit of spice, a little bit of zest on top of, on top of the buildables, and it worked.
See, even talking about that, man, that fucking buildable Wonder Weapon Transit, that was the most useless thing I've ever had in my life. Like, on paper, that sounded amazing. We're going to give you this gun, it's almost like the Thunder Gun, except instead of blowing, it was basically, I said, instead of blowing, it's going to spin a cutting air in a sense. So you're going to basically shred through them. And what's the first thing I have? This is brilliant. Gets in the red, bang, explodes, you like that. What kind of fucking Wonder Weapon's this?
Yeah. But diehard transit high rounders absolutely love it, because if you become skilled enough with it, it has infinite damage, it has infinite ammo.
Yeah.
Right? If they're skilled enough to use it so at its certain RPM range that it needed to kill zombies at, and you were skilled enough to keep it at that without overheating and it exploding and going everywhere, then it was absolutely loved, and it was an extremely viable strategy for high rounds. I think that
I'll
was
admit that it really was. Opinionally myself, the jet gun kind of set the blueprints forward for what became my favorite. What became my favorite Wonder Weapon, which was the Paralyzer. I love the Paralyzer. Think about it.
I can't say I was a fan of the Paralyzer, but I liked its unique qualities.
Think about it this way.
It was like a jet gun, but it went the opposite way, and you could fly with it. Yeah.
And even on top of that, it had unlimited ammo. It had unlimited ammo as well if you could work out the tap range. With that gun, there was basically a method to it, and the best way to do it is just hold the controller. The best way to do it for it was a tap range on it, but every now and then if you kept tapping it, it used to jump to 1 to 0 to 1 to 0 to 1 to 0. And that's basically, you could use that just to completely destroy the rounds. And then after the patch, it used to go 1 to 0, 1 to 0, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, and then it started building up. So they found a way to be able to balance it off a wee bit. But that was your go-to gun. But even at that, for me, when I played Buried, I did the exact same thing. Release Leroy, get me do all the buildables for you, because you can actually do that.
Yeah.
As soon as he's done all the as soon as he done the buildables for you, you got all your buildables. You put the two. What was it? You put two. I can't even remember what they're called them. It's been that long. The one that was based,
steam, head cutter, turbine, and
so the jet. It was basically like a jet
resonator.
Aye. So basically, the way we've done it, we got the 2 resonators, 2 head choppers, 1 trample steed sitting at the lane going into Juggernog.
Yeah.
Then all you do is Bayfie's had a turbine. All right, I'll drop my turbine, stand and wait. As soon as your turbine dies, drop your turbine, would you? Drop the turbine, stand and wait. That was literally your strat. And if everything burnt out, one of us had the paralyzer, or when you upgraded the petrifier, to slow them down, while the other person sat there with the AN-94 and took their heads off. So you basically had
SVU or anything like that.
Yeah, the SVU was one of the most underrated zombie guns. When they brought that into Die Rise, that was amazing in Die Rise.
Class.
And even I'm just looking at that Trick Voice said the DSR iron sights and zombies as well.
Yes, I saw that.
With double tap. That way double tap, man. There's your round 50. With these.
Yeah. Fair enough. So obviously, because yours is somewhere like 170 odds for your highest round. What was yours, Liquid?
100. Bang on.
Just 100. Fair enough.
This past week, literally, I've never really been a high round guy, but I thought I need a bit of practice with my endurance in the game.
Right.
Seems like Cold War's coming out in the next couple of weeks. I've never gone for around 100.
And that was it.
I'll spend my day doing this, and I got to it flawlessly with the same strat I used on stream. Only on stream, I fucked up on around 93. But before that, my very first highest round was 64 on Mob of the Dead. That's why I held it of so esteemed, because it was a difficult map to do high rounds on because it took so long.
Do you know? It was a difficult map to do the high rounds on, but one of the easiest things that I found on it, even though I never count, if I did actually, see we were on the bridge with the pack punch and everything, did that ever count towards your rounds, or was that just an endless supply of zombies coming at you all the time?
On which map?
Mob of the Dead. See when you went to the Golden Gate Bridge with the pack punch and everything?
No. They were zombies in the round. So like you went over there on round 12, for example. Any zombies that were still following you when you were at Alcatraz and you flew over to the Golden Gate to pack a punch. Yeah, those same zombies would spawn in on the bridge.
No, but I mean, like, did the rounds still continue? So when you killed them off, you
could stay over on there.
Yeah, because that was to me that was the best training route. You kind of isolated yourself, because if you ran out of weapons, if you ran out of ammo, you were fucked. Let's be honest, there's nothing there. So that was the only thing I remembered about it. I just remember that used to be the best training route. Then after so long, you jump in, you jump in, you electrocute your cell, you go back, get what you need to get, go back out to it in a couple of rounds time and stuff. Do you know, the one thing I did remember doing, and it was one of the best strats for Mob of the Dead, was the acid gat in the zombie shield, Cherry Cola.
Yeah,
Cherry Cola as well.
Acid gat attracted all the zombies. So if you got trapped in a corner, you would jump, shoot your acid gat so they get attracted to your acid gat. Then you'd instantly reload to shock them so that they couldn't hit you. And then you would just constantly do it. And do you know what? That's one of the only sounds I can remember in my head. It's like, it's very repetitive, because it was like two bursts of your acid gat, and it was like you flicked your blunder gat down, you whacked it in, you flicked it up, and then you did the same. And it's like one of the only sounds I can
remember. Fair enough.
Yeah, because it's so, like, the amount of times you get stuck in a corner with the acid gat, because I used to train in the cafeteria and the outside prison cells, outside cafeteria, and near those prison cells, it was tight.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I haven't a clue. These are the maps I never played, so I remember Shangri-La. I remember up to Shangri-La.
In fairness, that Shangri-La's similar sort of tightness to
but
in space and stuff.
I kind of stopped playing most of it at that point.
See, we talk about it in a sense, Reece, if you want it. We talk about the sense of like how tight some of these bits were in Mob of the Dead.
Yeah.
Just put it in a sense where you're passing by a corridor with somebody, where you're going shoulder to shoulder with them. That's basically thick these corridor was. So maybe it was a wee bit bigger, but you were basically shoulder to shoulder when you were running.
Yeah.
And if there was a zombie on one head on round 64 in my case, and you've got no jug, and the zombies behind you,
it's game over.
Because you can't pass him without not getting slapped.
Yeah. Got you.
Like and then
when you're up that high
out of ammo, like you're screwed, because the zombies aren't going to go where you need them to go, so you can get out.
Especially when you're up that high around, the zombie just doesn't slap you; it windmills you.
Yes, it does, and it's dreadful.
I've got one for you as well. Now, like, since you've told me that Mob of the Dead is your favourite map, Blood of the Dead, did that ruin it for you? Because to me, personally, it did.
Yes, I had Black Ops 4 on a disc, and my mate was like, "Yo, Luke, you love Mob of the Dead. You know, you've been excited to see what Blood of the Dead's like." And I'm like, this is not Blood of the Dead. This is not Mob of the Dead, sorry. And I understand that it wasn't Mob of the Dead, but to me, it's like they went to Mob of the Dead's gravestone and spat on it. That's how I felt. I'm like, this is shit.
The way I looked at it, and I always looked at it as like, for that, I looked into the Simpsons point of view. You've got the bloody tombstone sitting there with R.I.P. Mob of the Dead, and you get the other one dancing about, "We are blood of dead," dancing over the grave. That's the way I always looked at it.
Yeah, no, Blood of the Dead spoiled it for me. I wasn't a fan.
You'll find that though, like the things that you enjoy then get as they kind of obviously change. As they change zombies, because from what you have said, as they kind of updated things and added new things, it kind of ruined the essence of zombies for Gizzy. Whereas some of the newer stuff is what got you more into zombies, because like that's the thing, is I think that's
it's a good analogy to think about it like that. Like, to me, and the way I look at it is, Liquors came from the point of view where gobblegums and all that kind of, if you want, it heightened up the zombies, but at the same time, to me, that heightened up zombie experience but lowered the skill ceiling. It's the way I look at it.
I mean, yes, but it's kind of hard to even
for a casual player. See, for a casual player, for the casual player, that would help them. But for the guys who've been doing it for a long time, like myself, for example, as I say, I've been playing zombies now. I must be pushing about 10 years, 10, 12 years playing actual zombies.
But when it came out, basically.
So I can play a map with no perks at all and still run a decent route. I can play a map where I get all 4 perks and run a good route. I can get a map where I get my 4 perks and a pack-a-punch and still manage to survive for a long time. But to me, it's built into me now because I do everything like second nature. It's like, okay,
what are you first round?
The way it works out, it's like, okay, first round,
that's it.
First round, couple of shots to the leg.
You get, on Kino, for example, when I used to play Kino on Black Ops 1, I used to get Mustangs and Stallies, try and hit the box for either the Thunder Gun or Monkeys, and if I didn't get the Thunder Gun by 25, then I'd just buy the M16, pack-a-punch it, and that'd be my point weapon, and my Mustang and Sally would be my killing weapon.
Yeah.
The Mustang and Sally was the biggest godsend that they added into zombies, and the one thing I'll admit, though, the original Mustang and Sally, which wasn't even Mustang and Sally, it was the original pistol.
It was the CB.
And some weird name.
You pack-a-punched it, and it was like Sayonara Bitches.
Yeah.
I think it was the Der Reese pistol, wasn't it? And it was just Sayonara Bitches or something.
What made that gun so good and like so unique, so good and so unique was the ability to aim down sight on it as well. I loved that wee.
That was
just that wee trick to it. I thought it was brilliant.
Singular Mustang and Sally, if we look back on it, right, which you can just ADS.
Exactly. One thing it was also nuts, and this was one thing that I loved as well. See when they brought in PhD Flopper.
Love Ascension.
Oh, that just became the best thing ever. Did you ever see when you played Buried, did you ever get the perma perk for PhD?
I never got the perma perk for PhD. I got perma jug, but fuck perma jug, dude. Me and all my homies wanted perma PhD.
See you get perma PhD. The quickest way to get in it is go right down into the wee town. See where Leroy is. Go up the stairs at the side where you can jump over the top of your cell. Just basically dolphin dive off that twice or 3 times, basically, as your max. And the third time or the second time you hit the ground, you got the perma perk. But the way that, as I was saying there, PhD Flopper, I just remember PhD Flopper with a pack-a-punched RPG and just firing it at the ground because you don't take any explosion damage.
And you took an RPG from a slow-ass rocket-propelled grenade, right? You pack-a-punched it. You had like 10 rounds in a magazine.
Yeah, right? It was a 10-round magazine.
And it was a fully automatic. You just like... let me just reload one rocket, and now I've got 10 rockets. Like, what?
The joys. I mean, the thing is, though, that was the stuff that before it got too daft. Like, that was where if the original kind of pack-a-punches were fun that way.
Just think about the Shadows of Evil buildable wonder weapon. What's the first thing you do? You pick up this squid-like feature weapon,
you put your
hand in its arse.
And then you shoot it, right? And it's a black hole. And that's what zombies go into.
What the actual?
What you do? What you do is,
Literally,
what you
right,
do
so-
is you put your hand in its black hole so it can fire black holes.
So you run around on the map, right, to get 3 different parts, and
Right.
you put it on a bench, and your character does this.
Oh
Right.
no! Oh
Right?
man!
And then an apothecary's servant, as it's known, appears on the table, right? And you're like, oh yeah. So if you're on PC, you press F or you press square or you press X, and you're like, oh, this is a cool weapon. Yoink!
Oh my god!
And it was literally just attached on your arm.
I think
You switched your weapons. You didn't take it off your hand and put it on your back. No, you just used your other arm.
all right.
Zombies logic.
As you do. That's all it is. Dear God,
what's that?
that's something.
I'll
That's
say-
something I'd never fucking seen ever. That is something I've
Do you know what they missed
never
out
known
on?
about.
Do you know what they missed out on in that point? They missed out go like that. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better hold tight. I'm telling you why. Here I go. I'm going and dry.
Jesus, man.
Jesus Christ.
No, see, looking back in
I
some
was
of
going
the
to say.
zombies
I was
as well,
going to say that's probably a good point to end on zombies. That's a point where we're like, let's.
you know, the one thing, like if you want to end up, in the point, I want to end up in this point,
Aye.
and I'm going to say to, and it's a good point for me, and I'll put it to this point: rest in peace to the man. But the one thing that Call of Duty did do right is they brought the grandfather of zombies into one of their maps. They brought George A. Romero as a bad guy in one of the maps, and to me, that was a great way of doing it, because it wasn't exactly.
Dead.
It wasn't even dead. That was the best part. It wasn't even dead.
Yeah.
It was just.
It was
I don't know how
running
they
around the
managed this.
map.
I don't know how they managed this. They bring George A. Romero into this.
Yeah.
What, I think he was something like 5'6" or something like that in real life. I know he was.
And he was like
he
10 feet tall.
Yeah, he was insanely tall.
He was
Insanely
10 feet tall. He was full of electricity, and he walked about with a big bloody
and he had
stage-like camera.
And he had 750,000 health, and you're probably thinking, oh, a death machine would probably do a lot of damage to him. No,
Nope.
a Russian sniper, Dragunov. You gotta love it.
Yes.
It's like fucking
Oh man.
It's even at that. The Black Ops 3 one as well. Was it the Dragoff they brought back?
the Drakon.
The Drakon. That's OP as shit as well.
Yeah, it's basically a Dragunov but modern.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Cool.
That's fair enough.
So we have gone extremely off.
No,
topic.
that's fine. That's why I was basically like I had the zombies content and the questions, because I knew that it would just spawn off into that, because it's the stuff that you two are both interested in. That's my. I still treat myself, although it's Gizzy's my co-host.
Reece, I'm going to be honest here before you go any further, mate. I don't know what you think I'm into, but I am not into watching a man stick his hand up a squid's arse.
Hey mate, whatever you're into, man, I'll never judge. But like that's the thing is as a like
Catalyst.
yes. So I treat myself as, although Gizzy's the co-host, we're both like equal in that. I'm the interviewer. I'm the one that comes up with most of the questions, that kind of thing. But
You, the admin.
But I basically was like, right, here's a fun topic. Zombies, Gizzy's going to fucking love it. And then just let you kind of go ham at it, because it's just, it's something that you both find so interesting. Whereas...
Mate, literally, see if you actually gave us the opportunity, and if we had to do this for the start, we're now pushing a minute 20 being live.
An hour 20.
Wow.
Aye. I could put it in. I could put it in that me and you, Liquid, I think we could talk for the full hour and 20 about zombies. Just for
easy. Oh, he's hadn't even went into like the full story or anything like that. That's like stuff that
the storyline. To me, the storyline is great, but it starts getting messy after Black Ops 2.
Yeah. That's it. But hey ho.
And the thing is, I know it off by heart.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
I'm the guy in. So out of like 4 of my mates who play zombies, I've got my best mate. He's casual and we just have memes. I'm the guy who knows all the storyline and likes looking for Easter eggs. My other mate, he's a high rounder, and my other mate thinks that Kino is the best zombies map of all time. I've nothing against Kino, but it is not the best zombies map of all time.
Opinionly, mate. Kino is by far my favourite map, followed closely by Buried. But I like Buried just because I can break the map. See, if you want to go for best map of all time, and I don't care what anybody says, you need to get to Knack the Untaught. It was that was a map that kicked it all off. It was sheer survival. You were stuck in a small grouped area. You had literally one route you could run if you were playing solo.
Yep.
It was literally one route. And it was a split-second choice decision. It was, do I open this way to go up and go round and get the box?
Or
do you leave that shut? Do I leave that shut and open that to go up and get the box? It was split-second decision-making. It was... That's the way that the Zombies was to me. It was,
I get you with that one.
It was that whole, you need to be on your toes, you need to do this, you basically just need to be going for it. And back then as well, because you could have stopped and save the game in a high round. That was your Xbox or PlayStation left on the full night, so you get a couple of shut eye. That's what I'm saying. Knack the Untaught, and you even said it yourself when I turned around, you goes like that to you, Liquid, when I told you about it. And the word Liquid turned around and said to me, he goes, did you play that in original Black Ops 1 or was it?
I asked Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 3 because
this is the word I gave him. This is the word I can give him.
Because
this just shows you as well, mate. This is the words I gave him.
Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, Gizzy. You can do 175 in 6 hours if you have one gobble gum and you have infinite of that gobble gum. Right? You could do what Gizzy did in 6 hours. Right?
And with the gobble gums. My words when he asked me the question, and this is how we knew the game, he goes like that. He turned around and said this, was it Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 3? And my words to him were literally this: that is a weekend I will never get back. And he knew exactly what one it was.
That's Black Ops 1.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It's one of those things, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying, mate. Like, think about it this way. If I managed to survive to 172 in Black Ops 1 when I had no assist, all right? You're basically relying on sheer skill in a sense.
Yeah.
Think about now if I had to add in all these gobble gums and everything, what round could I get to in that map?
You'd hit the reset button. If you put the same amount of time into Black Ops 3 Kino that you put into Black Ops 1 Kino on that 172 run, right? You would easily probably hit the reset timer if you're playing on PC. Because on PC it's different. So on PC, as soon as you start up the match, there's a certain amount of hours that you can have that game open for before the game resets and sends you to the main menu. For having it open for way too long, basically it's a way of stopping your CPU from blowing.
Melting.
Yes.
Basically.
Right? But on PlayStation 4, because of the limitations of it being a console, the highest round you can get to on a console before you get a blue screen is round 255. Because as soon as you change the round from 255 to 256, it's too much and the game crashes.
Yeah,
it's basically that reset button effectively for PC.
Fair dues.
It's honestly, it's one of these old style ways. Like, see for this new one coming out, I haven't read it yet and anything, so don't waste the read for me, Liquid. See if they had to release this new Zombies Cold War, and I'm not going to lie, see the turn around and goes, okay, we're releasing it with the World at War to Black Ops 1 formula, with Black Ops 2 formula, because they were all really the same formula, but for talk's sake for that, they were releasing it with that same formula, but we're going to give you some ones in this new way, like have the Black Ops 3 here, have some gobble gums, but we're not going to give you these OP ones. We're going to make you have to learn your skill. You're going to have to hone everything.
Yeah, you have to practice.
The main, like, let's say 75% of it's based on the Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2 style of playing. And then as you rank up, you get some okay gobble gums to add a little bit of zest in there.
Yeah. Like, I can put one thing forward and show you like the differences, all right? As I say, I was a pure survivalist when it came to the zombies. I was high rounds on nothing but my skill, my memory, and stuff like that. Yeah. I played a game of Black Ops 3 with my wee brother, and literally he was every couple of minutes, every round, new gobble gum, this, that, the next thing. He came up here one day and I was playing Black Ops 1. Gives a shot. No bother, there you go. Gave him a shot of it on Kino. He survived to round 5. No, he survived to round 5. He knew there was nothing on it, but he survived to round 5, and his words were, he looked at me and went, how's that? And I went, you're too used to all these shortcuts in a sense. Like, you're used to running into that thing and maybe getting your perkaholic. That's you now sorted.
I hate perkaholic. I have about 25 perkaholics that I've accrued on PlayStation since the release of Black Ops 3, and I have never used a single one. And I'm so proud of myself because I don't like cheating the way to getting all my perks.
Oh, right.
Because basically, Reece, there's a gobblegum. It's like an ultra rare gobblegum, right? And as soon as you take the gobblegum, it gives you every single perk available in that map, every single one.
Yeah.
So,
right. So it basically just makes
you have 9 perks and you're overpowered.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Rather than just
Juggernaut, quick revive, speed cola, double tap.
Yeah.
All right. It was one thing though. When it came to town, when it did come to town, I always sacrificed speed cola for stamina up because I wanted to keep that back door shut.
Yes.
That back door was shut. It was the best zombies route came in down there.
Yes, Gizzy knows.
Not got a fucking clue. I played it, but I didn't.
Any hardcore zombie player knows this.
That's actually the route I taught my mate, who is now the high round guy, how to play zombies. That specific route near stamina with the bank door shut. That's how I taught him how to play zombies. And now, he got to round 100 before me, which I'm not.
It was one thing as well when I played Kino with my friend. Me and my friend discovered the best route how to run Kino, and it was literally the most hardest thing we've ever done because we had to be complete sync, complete coordination with each other. And what it was, you see the door heading from dressing room onto stage.
Yes.
Stand at that door, okay, and shoot anyone that are coming for the stage side because 90% of the zombies now are going to spawn on the double stair room and dressing room. So as soon as they all start coming in, take them a nice wee route out back to the starting room, up over the stairs, down the double stairs, back through the dressing room, stand at the door at the stage again.
Now you're speaking my language.
Now he's speaking.
Yeah, now we're talking.
They'll all pile in front of you, wipe them out, do the exact same thing.
Rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah, exactly.
The one thing though that I used to love, and I think, in fact, I don't even think, I know Kino brought it in first, was bringing in the ability to switch your first melee weapon. The old Bowie knife.
Oh, aye, the Bowie.
Kino didn't bring in the Bowie.
Oh, no, it was it not Shino?
It was Reece.
Oh. Aye, because
you were able to buy it off the wall in Reece. The original Reece. I don't remember that.
Because you could kill a zombie.
You opened up the main teleporter where below catwalk.
Yeah.
It would kill a zombie up to 25.
I don't even remember that. I must have just not paid attention to that one.
You could kill a zombie up to 25 with a Bowie.
Nah, that got heavily nerfed in Kino then, mate, because it was only like round 12.
Yeah, and it stayed like in World at War, the Bowie knife was very good.
Yeah.
Do you know I'll give you this one. Can you name the 2 weapons they actually took out for Kino de Totten? They took out the rest of the maps. Can you name the 2 weapons they took out?
Couldn't.
So what? So they're taken from basically all the same guns.
There was 2 weapons basically. There was 2 weapons. See if you played with your team. Yep. If you played with your team and there was a team of 4 ways, one person was basically just your points guy. So you wanted him to get the LMGs. 3 of them. There was 3 specific weapons. One of them was the Thunder Gun. Can you name the other 2?
What, the specific weapons? You had obviously you had the ray gun.
No, I'm not talking about that. Everyone, because you could get the ray gun. It was you could only get one of these weapons. Each player could only have one of this weapon, and it got taking out the rest of the maps because if your full team combined yourself in a team of 3 or a team of 4 with these weapons, you became an unstoppable machine.
Well, yeah, the Thunder Gun's one of them because only one person can have the Thunder Gun.
What's the other 2?
Only one person can have the Baby Maker.
You just work this out. I'm going to jump to the pisser.
No, there's no working out. For Kino de Totten, mate. For Kino de Totten. Just for Kino. Because they were in it in 5, but they were taking it after that.
No clue.
You're going to get a shock after this. One was the crossbow.
And it was the ballistic knife, was it not?
There you go.
Yeah, because you could you could revive your fucking teammates.
Crossbow was basically having a bigger supply of monkeys.
Yeah, it is.
And
your ballistic knife is your ranged revive.
I'll give you this one though. See with the ballistic knives, they patched this after the first patch. see if you were like camped up somewhere and you were taking everybody out.
Mm.
You could, if one of your players went down and it wasn't the ballistic knife player, you could actually just melee that player and they would stand back up.
What?
That's how OP it was. That was the original. That was the original patch. After they released
I don't know why I didn't
DLC,
think of it though, because it's kind of
see
obvious
after they released the first DLC, they patched it. You couldn't do it anymore because it was far too overpowered.
Yeah.
Reece, since you're back, mate.
Yep.
The two items were the crossbow and the ballistic knives, and the reason between that is crossbow pack-a-punch just became monkey bombs again.
And then the ballistic knives you could revive with.
Yeah. Do you remember the original patch? Do you remember the original patch for the ballistic knives at all?
No, I can't.
The original patch in the ballistic knives, and by that I mean like the release date, you didn't have to shoot a person. You could actually melee the person and they would get back up.
Couldn't remember that, no.
Yeah, not a lot of people thought about it at the time because it was, when they first did it, it was they shot it, it was, oh, you could shoot somebody.
Yeah.
It was one of my mates that discovered it for a laugh. He was getting chased after zombies. I was down, he ran by and slashed me. He ran by and goes, like, you're useless, and slashed me. And I got back up and I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Jesus Christ.
So it was like a pure accidental thing.
I still worked at the time, obviously. But no, fair dues. Well, I'm gonna end zombies chat because you could keep talking, and I don't think I could handle another 45 minutes, guys. I'll be honest. I like zombies, but I don't like it that much.
Can I end it in one more question? Can I end it in one more question then, and that's it?
Fucking better be one more, man.
Last question. Liquid, favorite wonder weapon of all time. Scavenger of all time.
Of all time, it was Call of the Dead first DLC, Pack-a-Punch. That fucking beauty. The sound it made was unbelievable. Call of the Dead, Scavenger.
Sound wise, I'm stuck between Winter's Howl and Scavenger. They were the two ones I love the sound of. Favorite gun is going to have to be the Thunder Gun for obvious reasons.
Nice.
Okay, zombies over with. Reece, continue.
Fair dues. No, that's I can get M16 for me. Just because it was.
No, exactly.
Wonder weapon, boys.
No, I just pack-a-punched. That's it. Just because the sound it made, it was the first one I ever pack-a-punched, and I remember doing it, and that was it. But fair enough. You should just have an episode together where you just go through the zombies lore. That's it. I think that's something that should happen.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
I'm good for that.
But fair enough.
Made Andy a wee YouTube video for you, Liquid.
Yeah.
God, I'm not watching it, guys. I'm sorry. I couldn't. Well, unless he's cut it to 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
We'll go back then. So I heard you like Minecraft.
Right.
Did you ever create a zombies map on it?
I never did. No. I never.
I managed to create Kino.
Oh dear God. That's terrifying.
I just did that to annoy Reece, right?
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. No, what I was going to say, it's basically, we've kind of went round what your kind of content was. We know that, like, for example, zombies is a big part. Like, when it comes to, like, your content progressing, what do you want to do next? What's the next things coming up for the next, like, year or so? Like, where do you see your content going? Next
year or so. So at some point, obviously, literally 2 weeks today, Cold War's releasing.
Yep.
So that's going to be a big thing, right? Pre-installing that next Friday, and it comes out the Friday following.
Yeah.
I'm wanting to make quick, easy, comprehensive guides potentially for zombies.
Yep.
Maybe explaining all the new systems that's in the link, Gizzy, that I sent you on your DMs.
Yeah.
In what Treyarch have mentioned. I want to also make theory videos about that. But at the same time, it's kind of been a hard time trying to identify what my content is.
Yeah.
And I think once you identify what your content is, you're okay. But I've had a hard time doing that in the past couple of months. So when I came back to do YouTube, because I came back to YouTube before I started on Twitch.
Yeah.
I restarted the FIFA 20 series I had from months previous.
Uh-huh.
And then from there, I did Troy Total War because that was free on the Epic Game Store, right?
Yep.
And then from there, I went and played EU4 and Crusader Kings 3 and Hearts of Iron 4, and then FIFA 21 dropped. So I played FIFA 21. But I really wanted my channel to go in a grand strategy focus. And yes, there's a ton of replayability, but playing it on stream and playing it outside of stream,
you burn out.
Record it, you burn out.
Yeah.
So I want to do variety. I want to do what I enjoy. And I think that's a big thing. Obviously, I might not get much traction in any one community because of that.
Yeah.
But if there's any majority swinging piece of pie, you could say this upcoming year, it's definitely going to be Cold War.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm going to be covering multiplayer, campaign, zombies, everything.
That makes sense, man, because like you're good at Call of Duty. That's the kind of thing and roundabout of it. You like the content, you know your stuff.
Yeah.
And then you know as well that you do have, for example, Hearts of Iron, EU40 fall back on when you need that break. Because at the very least, you know you've got a series there for DLC that's probably going to come out because there's always
fucking DLC with Paradox.
Yeah, exactly. Like what kind of obviously what platform do you prefer use? So do you prefer creating a video or do you prefer streaming? It's a
very good question because before I started streaming on Twitch, I said this briefly earlier, but I wasn't a Twitch watcher.
Yeah.
Like if I wanted to watch something, my preferences would be 90%. Right, I'll see if there's a video on YouTube that I can binge watch a 20 episode series or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's how I started it as well. Lionheart is early episodes of Rome Total War 2.
I mean with anything, I used to just binge watch it on YouTube. And I'm that type of guy where I'm gonna watch if I find something I like, I'll watch the whole fucking thing in a manner of days. It don't matter if there's 100 episodes or 10 episodes, I will fucking devour it as content. Just because I liked the first episode and I might like the person recording it. But I think my opinion's changed. If we were to have said this a couple months ago, I probably would have said YouTube.
Okay.
Because I've been on and off making videos since I was young, basically. I used to live stream Black Ops 3 back in the day. But in essence, I like talking to people. I'm a very sociable human being, and I think having that chat interaction, and having people talking to you whilst you're playing and having a laugh and having shits and giggles is amazing. And I'm loving Twitch. It's pretty fucking cool. I can't lie.
Yeah. No, I'm in the kind of same mindset. Is I prefer Twitch. I prefer the kind of interactivity of it.
Yeah.
I can't sit down because my personality doesn't transfer to a video. I a gaming video. So for example, mine's is if I was to do YouTube content, it would be news based. It would be kind of slice of life, that kind of thing. Because I'm.
Welcome to Scots Drama Alert with your host Reece William.
Oh God, don't fucking doing Twitch drama. Imagine that. I would do that as well. But still.
Thanks, man. You want something like me doing Twitch drama? Because I'll just turn around and call everybody out.
I know. Oh God, I'll call it. No, I'm not even going to fucking say what I was going to say.
What you said to me, you little shit?
I'm not going to do it. I'm not about that life anymore.
He's not on the soundboard yet. He's been almost 2 hours.
Yeah, it should have been on
5 minutes.
But like, mine's would be something like that. Maybe some gaming stuff, but not like I've not found where my content is. But I also don't have much of the time to make the videos that I want to make. But like yours are like
mine are of a dying breed. If I'm brutally honest, my videos are for a dying breed.
We spoke about kind of the Twitch YouTube
yes
boom and how where it's kind of went.
spoke
Grav,
about it
and I think
with Grav and the Twitch and YouTube boom, but you also spoke about it on like one of the
I think it was
like 0 point
I think
series,
it was one of those ones, but it was like a case of
where Let's Plays aren't as prominent anymore, and it's because everyone's becoming more creative, everyone's becoming more capable of editing.
There's still a place for them on YouTube. There is,
yes,
but it's more a case of it's the law of diminishing returns. Like, people would watch an episode from start to finish. People are only watching it now to see what the gameplay's like, so that they can decide whether or not they want to play it. Or if, for example, for me watching your FIFA series, I like Watford. I binged a few episodes because that's just that.
It is
that
what it is.
It is what it is. That's it.
Yeah.
But there you go.
It is one of those ones. It is like to be fair, like I would say the same thing. Like, some videos in some ways are content and there's a dying breed. Yeah. Like, I did bring this one point forward ages ago, and for some reason, I don't ask me why, but I've started getting right into watching all these videos and everything back then. Then is all your single player games, like the good classic ones, are a dying breed for playthroughs unless you're a speedrunner.
Yes,
and that's the way it's going. But
like, I've started watching the likes of Banjo-Kazooie again. I loved Banjo-Kazooie when it was first out with the N64. I'm now following a streamer, and just because he's speedrunning, and it's interesting watching him do all these routes, how flawless his gameplay is in a sense. Sometimes he makes a mistake, but come on, as a speedrunner, you're going to make mistakes.
Aye, but the thing is,
watching all the flawlessness of the movement, watching the flawlessness of movement, watching them, if you want in a sense of it, and I'm just going to say this like in the most bluntest way I can, pull the developers' trousers down and spank them for the fact that they've managed to exploit their game in such a way.
Yeah, but I mean, I think though, if you think back to like original games, so think PlayStation 1 games, you had one route, but there was ways around your movement faster if you jumped everywhere or something like that, and that's where speedrunning probably developed from. Obviously,
oldest speedrunning game is Doom.
Yeah,
that's the oldest speedrunning game, and that was back in PC. That's the oldest speedrunning game right now going.
It's just the way it is.
It's such a dying off breed as a single player. Like, I can understand one thing, and I give Sony and PlayStation the props for this. They are trying their best to keep that genre alive with some single player games. One of my favourite single player games to play is the Hitman series. I love the Hitman series, but I love the thought that went in with it.
Yeah.
I love the thought going behind it. But think about it now, like, with people nowadays, like, as I say, like, with I actually don't know your age, but I know you're younger than us. People basically say for your age and younger and stuff like that, they're coming up in the world of Fortnite, Warzone, Apex, Call of Duty multiplayer, Halo multiplayer. It's all a multiplayer aspect.
And you're not wrong, because I was born a couple of years after the millennium, right? Literally only a couple. But the annoying thing for me and my mates at the age of 18, right, is the fact that I'm not asked about that. Oh, my mates are, because they like a good pint now and then. But we don't recognize the kids that are younger than us, right? And say, oh, you know, we're experienced, you know, people who play FPSs. Like, just looking at the FPS genre, right? I'm sat there like, well, I grew up. We didn't have Wi-Fi still. We were still in that period of time where Wi-Fi was still expensive to get.
But it was all dial-up.
It was all dial-up, right? You know, if you were lucky, you might have had a laptop in your house for, you know, your parents, if they could go on Facebook or something like that.
See, that just shows you the age difference. Back then, it was MySpace or Bebo.
Like me growing up, that's why I play campaigns, because like we didn't have internet, you know, so I would get a new Call of Duty or a new old Call of Duty from Blockbusters.
Yep.
And I would play the campaign, and I would play it multiple times over up until I saw, there's this Call of Duty game, which is like the same price. We should probably get that and play the campaign. And that's what I did. And I feel as though, yes, that side of gaming's been lost because you have games, like you say, like Fortnite and Apex, which are literally catered to the here and now.
It's not appreciated as much.
They don't.
That's
they
the
don't
issue.
need a campaign or a single player or a story mode because everyone's got Wi-Fi. Everyone wants to play against each other, and I think sometimes experiencing a game and dialogue makes you more immersed.
Yeah, exactly.
With the game and with the online. I don't know what it's like for you, but when I played the Black Ops 1 campaign, when I jumped on to the Black Ops 1 multiplayer and the Black Ops 1 zombies, I'm like, I use this gun in this mission and I can pick it from this wall. And from the campaign, there's this character and I like this character. You know, is he going to be in zombies? Is he in multiplayer? Can you... Like, I've always felt more immersed if I know the backstory of the game before I play it, but you look at Fortnite and it's like, oh, look, there's an island and you drop from a bus and you build shit because...
Yeah, I get that, man. There's something... Yeah, there's something obviously lost there between the games, and I think, like, I still enjoy multiplayer in certain things, like but that's...
We all do.
But that's the thing, is like mine's
to say we all enjoy multiplayer. Right now, I can't imagine gaming anymore rather than multiplayer. Besides the fact of the matter is, with certain games, i.e., right now I'm getting right into the Dooms, but I'm getting into the older Dooms.
Yeah.
The reason I'm more into them is just, as I say, I'm more into the speedrunning side of it now. I want to best my time. That's what I'm wanting to do. I want to best my time.
That makes sense. Makes sense.
But for me, as I say, for gaming wise and stuff, mine suit my fighting game background because, as I said to you, that was me in an arcade. When I started playing console games, my biggest issue was I always wanted to better whatever I did. So when I had the N64, I played a lot of Mario Karts, and I would do a circuit, and then I would see what my best time was. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I can beat that. Then I'd retry again. It was stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I said, mate, single players right now are a dying half breed. And the best one to even pick out for you right now, because we've all played it, it's been in every generation since the 90s growing up, it's Pokemon. Okay?
Yeah,
true. I've played
every Pokemon game has always been a single player game for your Game Boy, your Game Boy Advance, your NDS, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah,
now we're on the
3DS,
Switch.
You fucking...
all those kind of things. Yeah, like Pokemon.
Now we're on the Switch. And what's the first thing they brought in the Switch? Okay,
Pokemon.
Here you go. Let's give you multiplayer. We'll give you multiplayer raids.
Yeah.
That to me, that's like, it's fun. It's fun to do with some people, some of your friends, but it's not the game anymore. It's not the game I remember.
Yeah.
And on top of that as well, you didn't have to go. You don't get to do the old school Pokemon. You know, where you went through this cave, you come out the other side. All your Pokemon are dead except for 1 with 2 HP, and there was some bastard at the end of the cave ready to fuck you over.
Yep. Remember that.
No anymore. Now when you get to the other end of the cave, it's, you seem to be tired. Let me heal you. No, bitch, battle me.
Yeah, I get you, man. I get you. I remember that because it was Mount Moon, and then the other one, the one we had to use Flash in the first game.
Dark Cave.
Dark Cave, that's the one. Simple name, Dark Cave. But
there you go again. There we go again, mate. It's all these simple names as well. Like you had Mount Moon. Why was it called Mount Moon?
Moonstone.
Because you can find a moonstone in there. Oh, here we go. We'll go through a Dark Cave. Why was it Dark Cave? Because it was dark.
Yep, I know. Crazy, isn't it?
Let's go through Diglett Tunnel.
What are you naming it? Exactly what it is. Boom.
But that was also because it was just literally a port into English, so they didn't change the names by much with these kind of things. There was less.
Yeah, just literally translate.
There was a lot less thought in it. But
well, think about it as well, mate. Think about it as well. You had Diglett Tunnel as well, and it was the only place you could find a Diglett.
Yeah. No. Well, that's actually true. Get it in certain places.
No, you could not find Diglett anywhere else in the game. You could find Dugtrio, but you couldn't find a Diglett.
Yeah.
Diglett was only in that cave.
Aye. No, that's very true, actually.
And what have they done with the newer generations? Let's give you this variant of Diglett. What's so different about him? He's got hair.
Oh, aye.
He's different.
Same thing. But
one of the Digletts where there was talk goes like, one of the baldies.
Aye, me, one of the baldies. Actually, here's one thing as well. Obviously, this kind of ties in with where you kind of started with your streaming and stuff. Like,
Yep.
you basically taught yourself about the timings of stuff organically, right?
Yep.
So, what made you think to do that? Because that's like, you have answered this question. Like, I was more going into, like, your stuff like with streaming, and where did you kind of learn your craft and when to do it? Obviously, with Seleno, it makes it a lot easier for us.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. Seleno makes it a ton easier now that I know about it.
Yeah.
But back when I started streaming Hearts of Iron 4, I was in a daily routine, and every day I would normally record between 11 and 2.
Yep.
So I took a week out from recording, and I scheduled videos for that week so I didn't miss any uploads. And I said, okay, so I would normally record during this time when it's just me in my house and my mum's off at work and I'm working towards YouTube. Why don't I just start, instead of streaming Minecraft, why don't I switch over to Hearts of Iron 4 in that time? And it worked because, like you said, there's very little saturation when I go live on Hearts of Iron 4.
Yeah.
In the morning. The only other person I really see streaming who could be a quote unquote threat to my viewers would be that James guy. But he's a nice bloke anyway. I've chilled in his stream for a bit from time to time.
Yeah.
He but in fairness to him, he's live earlier than me.
Yeah,
so
he streams from like 7 a.m. Like, that's the thing is
7 a.m. to like 2.
And then it goes live again at night and has another multiplayer or something. It's insane.
He's insane. But I kind of learnt about it organically. But in fairness, at Christmas I got a course that my mum got me because I've been trying to. Before Christmas, I'm like, right, okay, well, I've been in my full-time job now for about 6 months. This was at Christmas.
Yep.
I've just revamped my setup, got my second monitor, made, quality of life's better. Yeah. And she got me this course basically about how to better your content on YouTube.
Yep.
And I can rewatch it as many times as I want up until like 2025 or something daft. And basically
pretty random number, but okay.
Yeah, it was like a 5-year thing from when you redeem it, basically.
All right. Still pretty decent, to be fair.
From time to time.
Yeah.
And the
COVID didn't came in and went, no.
and the guy had been partnered with YouTube since like 2008. And he'd worked on some documentaries in the States. So he had a decent insight. And I took some of what he said. He's like, do what you want, but be wary of saturation. If you're doing this, just, is anyone else doing it? What times they're doing it at?
Yep.
He's like, know your competitors as well as you know yourself. So I know every day I post a video at 10 a.m.
Yep.
I go live at 11 a.m. I normally stream for 3 to 5 hours, depending on how I'm feeling, right?
Yep.
But 3 is what I go for minimum. And he's saying, no, your competitors. Yes, it's competitors, but you're also working to build a community for the both of you. But you need to know what other people do well. So could you get some inspiration from that?
Yep, exactly.
And I just kind of went with the flow organically on Twitch and keep up to date with people in the strategy community to see what they're doing and see what content they're making and how is it different from Chewy Shoot to Aldra Hill or
I get you, man. I get you. Because my thing is I'm like you know your time. You benefit from your time. That's the thing. Is it's a smart move. It works well. It works, and that's the thing. Like, that's my issue is the fact that if I could go live at that time, I would go live at that time. But that's why my streams are always like sort of 7, 8 o'clock till 11, 12, and I'm competing with Boko and Tommy K. Yeah.
Dankers, who's currently live.
Yeah. Like that's the thing is I have that issue, so that's why I I've used my idea of chilled Scottish guy that streams, nice kind of vibe, all that kind of thing, bit of memes, all those kind of things to try and make myself that little bit different.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, one thing I love is for example, on our Monday nights when we're playing EU4, it's just I'm not high energy, or I'm not that level of high energy. But when it's the let's go, boys,
and it's like I've already streamed in the day, and I come on in the evening, and I've got that much energy.
And I'm just
I don't know whether it's because of my youthfulness.
It is. It is, man. It goes. Believe me, you get old.
Just wait until your weekends start with let's go for a quiet pint, then you'll see how quickly it disappears.
Oh yeah, but that's although that quiet pint usually makes me a bit more youthful, to be fair.
That quiet pint has caused mayhem.
Yes,
I'm going to put that forward for anybody watching as well. We do have a podcast coming up in December where there is going to be a lot of alcohol involved, and it's just going to be me and Reece.
It's the drunk cast where it's basically us going back over.
It'll be our adventures.
Aye.
The day one of meeting each other right up until this point.
Aye, I'm terrified because I think I'll get cancelled. But
yeah, you'll get cancelled. I'm literally going to be sitting here and then we're going to have a nice wee conversation. For certain parts, you know.
I know, man. But like, oh god, I know. I'm just waiting for it to happen. But aye, we've got that coming up. I think we're going to either be the 3rd or the 10th of December, run about then. But
something along that line. Something.
So about the first time I will have slept since the Cold War launch. Then
basically, man, aye.
After pumping out content for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan, mate. That's it.
About right.
Aye.
Well,
but like
I would say for one thing, this is almost pushed the 2 hour mark. I think it's a wee bit time we should start winding this down a wee bit.
I can kind of see that there. Well, actually, here, this will be the best way to finish it. So, a year from now, what's your goals? What's your goals for the year from now? Where do you see yourself? Or what would you like to see yourself as? Bit of positive, like, mental attitude.
I want to see myself as the difference in factor between the new and the old guard.
Right.
So one of the big things that in my research I've had a look. If you look in the strategy community, no offense to you boys, right?
I don't play strategy games, so there's no offense to me at all.
So no offense, Reece.
It's alright, man.
But no one in the community is trying to push themselves in a certain sort of way in this, like in the Hoi 4 that I've seen, unless Zabby's the same age as me.
Zabby
I haven't seen it.
Zabby's younger than you, I think.
Right. Well, in that case, I want myself personally to be like, okay, so you've got that James guy, you've got Tommy K, you've got Spiffing Brit, but they're all adults.
They're all old.
They're all middle 20s, going into the 30s, right? And I'm here like, yo, in a year's time, I'll be like, yo, I'm 19. I haven't even hit my 20s. You know, let's have a ton of fun. Let's, you know,
yeah, man.
Obviously, just a bit of a change.
Yeah, I get it. No, that's it. That's kind of how I kind of seen it.
Gradually evolve. I've got a couple of ideas in back of my head for Twitch streams and potential transitions and overlays and stuff.
I get you, man.
I would like to see myself, I don't know, at 1K followers. I think that'd be insane by this time next year. So yeah.
What about YouTube? What do you see your content with that? Because I think you said it to me before. The Cold War is maybe going to be the thing that you see makings of.
Yeah. I want Cold War to be that catalyst. I am going to put so much fucking time into that game to get content, and I've been gradually learning editing over these past couple of months.
Yep.
Whether that's even on videos that I thought were good enough, and then I've rewatched them. I'm like, I don't want to put up an edited video, which I think's edited, but I think it's also shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to learn editing So there's been times where I'll take a 20-minute video. I'm like, right, okay, well, that's what's going to go on YouTube. But what can I do with the editing software after the fact? Like, what can I do to it to make it a bit better? And I think also with the art of the thumbnails as well. A lot of my thumbnails are samey.
Yeah, there's the art of the YouTube thumbnail.
Because they're Let's Play. Because it's a Let's Play, isn't it? So it's like the consistency and the continuity of the thumbnails and the titles sort of thing.
But the thing is,
then the thing is, people just like, oh, well, which episode's this? And
the biggest thing for a YouTube thumbnail is literally that shocked face. This is that stock image of your shocked face of, I did this. That's your... Yeah, like it's just one of those things where you basically have to fill your, like, you just take like 3 different faces for basically your thumbnails for a series, and you just cycle through them and then you just cycle through them every 3 days. That's just the gist of it, to be fair.
But yeah, I'd like to see myself maybe at 1,000.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool. I mean, by the end of this year, I want to be 200.
I could see that quite easily, to be fair. I could see depending on how the Cold War content goes, because what you tend to find is people go that bit quicker on Twitch in the first instance, and then
YouTube on the afterfact,
and then YouTube.
The one thing I'll hope anybody here as well, because I've seen it happen before, and a lot of people can back you up on it. Unless you're already an established name in the space of it, i.e. for Call of Duty, think about it this way: when Call of Duty is going to get released, you're going to have the likes Ninja, Myth, Shroud, Doc. Just put Doc in and even though he's on YouTube now.
Lex, Syndicate, fucking...
every one of them is going to be jumping onto that bandwagon. So where you could be on the leaderboard, because all these big names now are on it,
he's going to be further down.
Yeah.
But it depends, because the thing is, you've already got a reasonable following on both platforms, and you've got the thing where you'll have the kind of transferableness of people who like strategy games. At least there will be a correlation with shooters. There will be a correlation there, and that's the thing is, it might be a third, it might be 50%, it might be more. But that's the thing is that's my background is marketing, numbers, all these kind of things, and it's looking for that pattern. So what you'll probably find is your guides will be the thing that people search for first. Your guides is going to be the content that you're going to get known for. But see, for example, your gameplay, it's your personality that needs to show on that. But it needs to be the combination with that and your thumbnail that matches and works. So that's the kind of in with it, is because the YouTube algorithm is fucked. It throttles so much because you are under the 1,000 subscriber mark. And that's just the way it is.
It's just the way it is. It's so one-off videos. One-off videos that I publish tend to do all right, but the one-off, and after maybe a week, they don't get any views, right? Whereas in comparison, the Let's Plays may start off slower in the first couple of days, but they
pick up.
But they will pick up and consistently grow. I mean, when I first, I think one of my FIFA 20 videos is now at like 2.2k, and it's been slowly rising since I've come back to YouTube in the past couple of months.
And you'll find that is the fact that there'll be content. So what I've started noticing about ScotsRant is that our older episodes are now starting to tick up on more views, because we've got not reasonably consistent.
Do you want me to tell you boys a secret?
Go for it.
No, you're all right. I don't really need to know about your closet.
Fair enough, dude. I'm going to let. Basically, with the algorithm, even under 1K subscribers, one thing that you could probably guarantee to get more traction is the watch time. You need the watch time because it don't matter how many people click on one video. It's if I watch an hour and a half of you guys talking with Gravity or just by yourselves about, you know, whatever topic you might be covering that week.
Yeah.
It helped put it on people's recommended.
Yeah, it is.
So like I know that because that's what I'm trying to get people to watch you know, full episodes and stuff like that. And eventually it does go that way. But because I know that when I watch a video, I'll watch it the whole way through. I won't watch it halfway through and then maybe click off or anything like that. So yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah, I get that. It's like that's the thing is, and even at that, you find that like the episode, like the content that you think will bang on YouTube that will just smash it out of the park doesn't, and it's something else.
And then you feel as though you're at fault when you're not at fault.
Exactly, and that's it. Is you never win with the sad thing is you never win with YouTube until you have a following in place that consistently watches and goes through.
I think you're right in saying that because yes, YouTube's more discoverable because there's more users on there, more users are posting on there. Whereas Twitch, there's a lot more accounts who don't stream. They're avid watchers, and that's a big thing. I've got a whiteboard next to me.
Yep.
I don't know why I'm pointing at the ceiling. It's over there. Where I keep
showing the guns off. Yeah, stop.
it's them. But I keep it as like a personal tracker of like where I was at the start of every new month. And obviously my Twitch is quote unquote blown up in the past couple of months in comparison to my steady increase in growth on YouTube. And I think that's why I like Twitch more, because with Twitch you just seem to get results, but you don't always need to get results.
It's what's called the vanity metrics. It's vanity metrics. So like, but it's the thing is,
see, one of the best parts about this whole thing right now, this is a podcast about learning about this man, and all of a sudden we started going into market and stuff.
That's what I do. I drop knowledge bombs like this though. That's what I do. But no, it's
I do apologize for taking us off topic.
No, I
do it all the time.
No,
in real life.
I did ask the question, and that's why I kind of went into the topic of these things like algorithms and stuff, because there is that point.
It in a nutshell now. We can all put it in a nutshell now. The algorithms are always bollocks. Let's be honest here. Yeah. The algorithms are always bollocks.
Yeah.
There's no really much you can do about it. It's one thing, I've heard one person say this, and he is now a partner streamer. I'm not going to his name out or anything like that. But he came out and he said the right line, and he goes like that: with your content and the way it is, you could be getting the best content ever. It could be the most entertaining thing you've ever seen in your life. But if you're not in the right place at the right time, you're going to stagnate regardless.
Exactly. Oh, you're right. That's it.
And that kind of reflects the YouTube community over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Everyone dropped everything for Fortnite because Fortnite was not stagnating. Even after a couple of years, it was still growing and stuff like that. So
season passes and things like that. It's
free content.
One of those things. It was one of those things, regardless, it's always going to be a trend, regardless of the way you're looking at it.
Yeah.
Like, we did have this conversation once, and I did pull up the browsing list, and I'm doing the same again right now. And there you go. Fortnite is sitting fourth on the list.
It's still there. That's the thing.
It's still there. It's still there. I mean, even that man, League of Legends is even League of Legends is dropped to fifth, and they're usually up the top two.
Yeah, I know. Just one of those things, though. Is like it changes, and it will. It won't. Things won't change until there's something in the place of Fortnite. It's like Warzone's up there. It's those kind of things.
Yeah, but it goes by the whole point of it. Like, a lot of these people who blew up on Fortnite, it stands by it. They were the right place at the right time. It's always the way it's going to be. And I'll use Ninja for example for it because of the way it is. Ninja always had a nice steady growth anyway, but that was because of his Halo background more than anything. So he had all the Halo support.
Yeah.
Yep.
The minute he was switched over to Fortnite, and I can't remember whose podcast he was on, but I watched it and he said it. It was one day he was on his numbers, then the next day it was up 1,000 viewers, and then it was up another 1,000, then it went up 2,000, then it doubled, then it trebled, and it just kept going until he blew up the way he did.
Aye, it's crazy. But that, I mean, that's the thing, is right
He was
place, right time.
the right place, right time.
Yeah. That's it. And the thing is, that's what brings me to the knowing the right time to stream. It's right place, right time. It's how you, I mean, it's
how you get growth, isn't it?
But it's mixed in with your personality, your content with the game, these kind of things, and that's just your difference there, and that's the main thing. I mean, it'll just keep going if you find the right time in the right place.
Hi YouTube, my name is Liquid Hotshot. Today I'm going to drink this flaming shot.
Incorrect. That is not my intro. You have it all wrong, Gizzy. The Gremlin. Okay. Jeez, man. Get with the picture.
How can you, man? Then see if you want to go for the picture. Then I wasn't always Gizzy the Gremlin. If you could tell me my OG name, then you can start slagging me off. There you go. And I still get called it to this day.
It does.
And Reece knows it.
I know. It does. It's a strange one. Because it's nothing like what Gizzy is.
It's something corpses.
Nope.
No, his Twitch name.
I'll put it this way. My name, was only 5 letters at one point. And it's my OG name, and everybody still calls me it to this day.
What I tell you?
Is it Gizzy? Just Gizzy? No, fair enough. I don't know. Not a clue.
Recon. That was his name 3 years ago, 4 years ago on Twitch and different things, because he used to play. It was shooters as well that you kind of got that from.
It was Halo.
Aye.
Halo.
So.
Halo's where my name came from as well. My original name came from Halo.
That's it, man. I know.
And funny enough, this is where the funny part was. It isn't anything to do with any aspect of Halo in the gameplay. It was my button layout. My button layout in Halo was Recon. That's literally how I got my name.
That is an in-depth, so a viewer comes in, hey, why are you called Recon? Is it because, you might snipe people from a distance? No, nope. It's because I play Recon button layout, you idiot.
That was literally it.
Such a stupid question, viewer. What are you doing? Like, come on.
The reason that Recon, I'll put it this way, the reason that Recon kind of stuck with it is I've been playing the Recon setup since the first time it was introduced into Halo, and I think it was Halo 2 it was first introduced. So I was playing it since then. The reason it kind of worked out for me a lot better was I was so good at scouting out. In a sense, I was good at scouting out with playing the games, but my map movement was what caused me that good. When Halo 5 came out, really, that's when I shined for map movement, because that's when they started bringing in clamber systems and everything. So I was doing things on a map before the pros were doing things on a map, and then it all became quite known nature and everything.
But that's a throwback Recon, for old man.
What button layouts Recon? Because I play tactical, which is basically so like on you're a PC gamer right now, so but do you still play with a controller?
Only when I'm playing Halo. So I play with the Xbox controller.
So I play tactical, right? So my right thumbstick will move my control streak. That's my slide. Whereas circle or B on your Xbox pad is my knife, and that's the only difference because I play claw.
So they are.
So I can jump, slide, and knife all in a thumb and a finger, and that's just how I feel most comfortable. I've been playing like that since.
That's all muck you right up. That's all muck you right up. By the way, Halo never had sprint tactics until Halo 4.
True.
Okay.
I remember playing a couple of the Halo campaigns on the original Xbox. In fact.
I'll give you this. All right, that pressing down's my crouch. So that's the movement. That's your sprint. That one there's my aim. You press that in, it did my ADS.
Right.
My jump. That's my jump. When they brought in sprint, my X was my sprint button. B's my melee. Triangle or Y, as you know it is. Switch the weapon.
Yeah.
And that was my reload. That's my reload button.
Yeah.
That boggles my mind, man. Because I mean, a lot of my mates play on Classic, right? Which is just your shoot
standard.
Yes. But I play on Tactical, and obviously it's not that different. It's literally just switching 2 buttons around, depending on what game you're playing. And
there you go. There's
just
still the same Halo, unless you play bloody, what is it? Lefty or something like that. That's still your shoot. That's still your shoot. That one switches to my, what's it called? That's my nades. That's how I throw nades. And that one's for my boost. So I play in a weird ass setup, but that's how I go. That's where my original name came from. And it just kind of stuck with me.
Aye. There's a history lesson.
History lesson.
But it goes.
There you go.
But I think probably that our wee history lessons is good a place to end it.
Yeah.
So I appreciate having you on, Liquid. It's been a
pleasure, man.
It's been a journey tonight. I think we've covered most things that you could ever really cover.
I don't think I've ever done anything like this ever before. So,
it was good.
New eye-opening experience spent with 2 proper geezers.
Geezers.
As Englishmen say, geezers.
Fuck you saying, you mug.
Fuck you saying, you little shit.
I'm still waiting for it, Gizzy.
I'm still waiting for the soundboard, Gizzy. This is why I'm here still.
I know.
Don't you worry. I told you. I'll get that sorted for you, mate.
But it's been another good episode of the podcast. Thank you very much for coming on, Liquid. As I said, this is where we'll wrap up. If you are obviously for watching, obviously subscribe to us on YouTube if you want to get kept up with the older episodes as well. Episodes coming up.
There are some good older episodes that I have watched them. So
thanks for the
if you want something from another person who isn't always on the podcast, they are very good.
Cheers, man. I appreciate that.
Very good.
Thanks very much.
Appreciate that, man. But I've been Reece 1.
I'm Gizzy the Gremlin.
And I'm Liquid Hotshot.
And that has been the ScotsRant podcast. Thanks very much for tuning in, folks. Have a good one.